where for NAVI, 2024 seems like a long time ago. Redemption is in their sights, but they've got to beat a team that has been so difficult for them to face. Is there some NAVI fans here? I even see the Romanian flag in the crowd as well. Well, with this, guys, this is a game that is going to be explosive. This is a game that I'm sure will not be as one-sided as we saw it last time around. So before we bring the teams to the stage, I got one final thing to ask you. Are you ready?
Welcome on stage, FURIA. Welcome on stage, NAVI.
The stage is set, and the energy in here is incredible. But Alexei, this is a team that has given you some problems. We've seen you struggle against them even here at the Major, but it was just a best of one. How helpful has this extra time for you, for Blade and the team to prepare and make sure it comes up differently this time?
Just the overall vibe of the team. I'm feeling everybody's feeling super excited. We're so happy to play on the quarterfinals today.
And in terms of being excited to play it, do you feel like the losses you've had against FURIA, how deep you had to play them in a final, where you were able to take 2 maps against them, that this suits you, the fact that it's a best of 3?
Of course.
Ready to rock it? Anything you want to say to all the crowd out there and the NAVI Nation fans up in the stands?
Viadana nu.
Fallen, there are a lot of storylines on this FURIA team. Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Team of the Year, but it's all overshadowed by you, reaching for that major trophy almost a decade after. How does this feel to you? Is this a noise that you're just trying to ignore?
Hello everyone, it feels amazing. I'm still here, I'm still fighting hard, giving everything I can to stay at the top. I'm glad that I'm playing with such strong teammates. I'm gonna have a great game against NAVI today, strong opponent, so I'm looking forward to it.
There are obviously a lot of upsets happening on this stage. How are you going to make sure that there is not another one happening right now?
You know, we cannot be sure of anything in this life. It's gonna be a great game. They have strong players, they're a strong team, and I'm completely sure that we are the same. So it's gonna be up to who's gonna sit there, feel the less pressure, get the clutches, get the thing going, and let's hope it's us.
Good luck.
This feels really nice. It's a party in here. So let's try and understand where we're going with this. NAVI! FURIA! NAVI! Come together now. All get it on. Make some noise.
Looks like Bad Fallen is back in business. You might not be able to see what his eyes are looking at, but I'm sure it is straight at the trophy because such an incredible streak prior to this Maui Snake for FURIA. Question is, can they sustain what seems to be the peak here in Budapest?
It's been 2 months since this team's even been eliminated from a tournament. They have been fantastic. Everybody, whether you're talking to in-game leaders of other teams, players, coaching staff, doesn't matter. They're all looking to FURIA right now. They're trailblazers in how strong their tactical prowess is. And yes, they have the Rookie of the Year in Molodoi. Obviously, this is a slightly different stage than some of the ones that he's already found success on for the year. But I do fully believe that FURIA, they're the favorites in this matchup, and I have them to win the major on top of it.
I have to agree, but if you're going to make any case for NAVI, I think it's Blade. I think it's the prep work. I think it's the backroom staff of NAVI. We looked at the game of Vitality. It seemed they knew everything that Vitality was throwing against them. They didn't go hit any stacks. They stacked themselves every single time against Vitality. I think if they're going to win, and if they're going to have a chance, it's that kind of recognition that they are going into the details, that they know how FURIA wants to call, they know the mid-rounding, and they have a backup plan in every single scenario. Otherwise, individual for individual, team for team, FURIA is definitely the better squad here.
In terms of the maps we're going to be playing in this series, going to be Mirage, Inferno, and Train, if we do so need it. Any surprises in terms of any of those maps coming out for you, Maui?
I would say that the picks are fairly predictable in the first round. I feel like NAVI have once again put themselves in a corner, although a strong one on Mirage, where it's just simply been the bread and butter of the 2024 NAVI. They found a lot of form with it once again here. They've already beaten FURIA on the map in the past, and for FURIA on the other hand, Inferno, maybe it's not their favorite, but I could say it's probably their second or third, and it's actually been kind of a sore spot at times for NAVI, although NAVI has looked pretty. Actually, you know what, Devilwalk? I feel like the Inferno for FURIA is progressing at a slightly better rate right now. Like every time I watch them on it, I feel like they're a little bit more controlled than the last time I see them.
Yeah, I think just, you know, they're really comfortable on that CT side. Banana takes, they can even leave Jakinder there as a solo pressure man. And that's kind of risky on the CT side. But I agree with you. They have a deeper playbook. They have more ways to kind of control their way through that CT side. I still favor FURIA, like heavily, even with this map pool, but it's two teams that got 3 maps they're all very, very comfortable with. So it all depends on the day. But the prep for me, yeah, that's everything. It's going to be everything from that guy the guy that Wonderful said he can read the future in Counter-Strike. That's what they need today. They need to read the future if they're going to beat FURIA.
Our partner Odds obviously reflecting that same sentiment as you just mentioned there, Devil Walk. I just want to get into the emotional angle for a second. If you're Molodor and you've had such an exponential rise your first year as a top-tier pro and you've already put your name on the map, a hat in the ring for Rookie of the Year, this experience, getting to play on a major stage, it's going to be something so special, right?
I think Molodor, like there's a few players in Counter-Strike where you see them, when they get into a big stage, they actually get better. And I think Molodor is one of those people that just enjoys this moment and doesn't feel any pressure. He just wants to give the crowd something to be excited about. So I have no hesitation that Molodor is going to deliver today because he seems to thrive in it.
Even looking at his first arena event in Astana and his debut event for FURIA, he was the one grabbing the microphone from James Banks, addressing the crowd in his home country. And so at this point, I feel like it's all it's child's play for him. He's already done the hard part. He's already had that moment that Torzy had to experience here in Budapest, just facing in front of all of your hometown, just friends and family. So really, the sky's the limit for Molodor. I'm sure that we're going to continue to be impressed by him today. He's not been flawless, though, okay? Looking back at Austin, he was part of the reason that Pain were able to pull off the upset versus FURIA in a game where I thought, and many people thought, that FURIA was going to be taking that one with ease. So the Major, it's a different stage. This is where sometimes these players that we see as hot prospects show themselves to burn out in a flash that is just so unexpected.
Obviously Wonderful. We've already talked about him and just some of the numbers he was able to post up in Stage 3. I really hope that we get to see Bit shooting hard alongside him as well.
Yeah, he's been kind of the question mark for this NAVI squad in this Major. I think everyone has kind of stepped up, but he's had a few unrecognizable kind of whiffs and situations where you don't normally see Bit. So I hope that it's just been a waiting game for him to come onto this stage and show what it's really made of, because he is one of the best anchors in the world, and he's been that for a while.
And his counterpart, I feel like, on the FURIA side, maybe doesn't get all the narratives, but in terms of what K-Serato can deliver, he has just been their best player, a guy that I have no doubt is just going to stay cool today.
It's our last quarterfinal here in Budapest. It's time to get the party started.
Quarterfinal, FURIA versus NAVI.
Unleash the beast. Good luck and have fun.
Budapest, one more quarterfinal. FURIA versus NAVI. We go to the top of the rankings to bring in the favorites, and we go all the way down to NAVI to try to bring forth your challengers. NAVI has shown us great Counter-Strike this event. NAVI have exceeded expectations, but they are up against a Goliath tonight.
No doubt about it. Looking at the results that have happened so far, it's very clear. Nobody's safe. Let's see who sets the tone.
Kindar getting fully flashed immediately. That's pressure up into connector. And K-Serato finds himself a double kill from the catwalk. Wonderful's already going to answer from the top of middle. That's man advantage NAVI.
Yeah, that's a big clapback, actually. There's a rotation coming in. Yuri goes unspotted.
All right. Quick insta headshot. Oh, a little more labored there from Fallen. Wonderful's going to continue with this. And as he takes a look over top of the staircase, it's just this Yuri position in sight. There comes that second. And we've got NAVI finding the first round with the quad kill on the pistol.
That's 4 for Wonderful. He set the bar high for himself coming into this playoffs. The question is, can he keep it up? Well, it looks like the answer is going to be yes. Blade standing behind them wondering, can I rely on Wonderful at this entire event? Clearly, pressure's not a problem. Form is on point.
Coming into this, obviously his highest rated major of the 5 that he has played. We had a lot of conversation in the pregame about mentality, about sports psychology, about that backroom support system for a guy like Wonderful to continue with this success as the pressure will increase each and every step of this way. But hang on, because speaking of pressure, it's an immediate pop out into the B bomb site.
The flash is good.
Oh! K-Serato's Famas finds 2.
They must have countered that. Now they can't get out the window.
Mac 10 attempt for the entry. Tough job here for Bit. You've got one player in Molodoi low. K-Serato loses his head. And in doing so, Bit makes this one ever the more likely. Smoke Grenade's gonna give him cover to the right side. Easy cross through that site. And a triple kill here for Bit on the full recovery. Fallen's up next. Wonderful's got it. And down they go. That's what Navi need early on. Again, recovering from a disadvantageous position out the gate.
Yeah, that's not just disadvantageous, but 3-on-5 without getting out into the site. 5 CTs waiting for you. And I think that first kill for Bit is the hardest. Getting into the windowsill, getting a kill on the player right below him. And this is K-Serano. He was the real threat of the round. Those 2 kills jump right into his lap. It's not often that you see a team pull off an eco on the B site. FURIA almost made that happen. They show us exactly how strong they are.
It's nice to see that K-Serato's already got 2 moments of form within this quarterfinal, from the taps of the pistol to that double Famas hold. There's a lot of talk with Molodoi and Rookie of the Year and the AWP dominance that he's been able to bring to the table for FURIA. But every opper needs their right-hand man, and K-Serato has stepped back up into that star position on the rifle for FURIA.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's a team with multiple stars, and you try to pin one down and say this is the guy doing all the carrying. If you look at the name tags, you might say, well, Molodoi is clearly the one this year, but at this major where, this week's and the past couple of weeks' form is the most relevant, everyone's taking turns. Yukinder could very well be Weapon X here on Mirage.
Setting up.
Very decisive last round. This one will be the same.
Not going to find much in terms of defense. Yuri's hopeful Desert Eagle. Already the exit out from ramp, so Navi sinking their teeth into the flesh of the site. And Utility's going to make sure that Yuri doesn't get away with any kind of trickery. Frag grenade to open it up on Makaze's terms. We discuss rookies on the side of Molodoi. Makaze is also going to be a piece that we need to discuss as this game goes on.
They don't let him stage. Bomb's going to get planted here on the back. A triple safely. They've got everything covered. 3 alive on the last round. This could be wildly successful for Navi if they're careful.
Clean headshot for Wonderful helps. There's the bit of X Factor back from FURIA. K-Serato's Deagle finds one, Yuri's can't. And so a single casualty here in the 3rd round, and Navi are off to a very solidifying start. You mentioned the lack of deaths, and I think even just the clean ideas, not to mention sprinkle in that recovery of a round. They're not going to get ahead of themselves. You're never allowed to if you're Blade. But surely, Navi finding a bit of comfort in these rounds.
I mean, getting scared early is basically worth nothing. They know going into FURIA that they're even going to pull out some of those eco rounds. So the fact that they get away with 3 players alive on the numbers, that's all that really matters to Navi. Very good start.
Here come the big guns. FURIA's lost pistol has forced them to play it patiently. Into the first gun round, though, they'll take that challenge. Through the smoke, that's Wonderful, down to only a 1/3 of his health.
That's really good targeting out of Yukinder. They'll establish a top mid control. But with the bomb stage back here, there's clearly an idea to try to take over middle. Now they've got to respond. Blade in that interview said, we've got to stay flexible in these moments. And this will be a test of that. Change plans. Ooh, little creepy that FURIA know exactly what they're going to try to do. It's a testy moment for Navi.
FURIA kind of let off that pressure somewhat, right? They give over mid control, not that Navi currently know it.
Dropping this minute smoke and calling out that they're not established here will let them out a little bit.
Makaze's out already. Trying to find contact, shots to the back of the head, but the player up on platform survives. Great coverage. Yuri's 2 kills are clean. Here comes that bounce back though. Wonderful emerging, still has the pressure on Yuri. And unfortunately here for FURIA, he's not good for a 3rd. But he did create enough of a space for Yukinder to slide this in. So he'll hold. And as he's got this cover, it seems like he's gonna go unnoticed, but it all boils down to when and how he strikes.
You must strike though.
K-Serato's killed, but Yukinder is able to cover. And so with 56 health, we've got this early bit clutch attempt denied. FURIA's first gun round nets them their first round win.
There was a dot of hesitation from Yukinder back at triple, but he actually sacrificed 2 teammates to find a moment to take his peak. That hesitation might cost him in the future, but right here, again, FURIA have lots of teammates. I think that's what we saw on display. Once they saw that bomb peeling back out of ramp, Yuri getting the second frag, I think that's when the confidence traded hands.
Just 2 clean double kill moments, right?
He sacked 2 teammates, but he got 2 back. Danger averted. Again, I don't think this game is going to be about how close they got to winning rounds. You know, NAVI have a veto right now where the last time they played both these maps, they won them. And in fact, if you go farther back on Mirage, they won 3 times in a row. So I don't think that was really taken into account in this series. It's a best of 3. This isn't going to be a potential for a reverse sweep like we saw at Thunderpick. This is a situation where NAVI, they have confidence on Mirage. It's deserved, it's earned, nothing lucky about it. And they have an Inferno they could potentially look forward to.
Right now, I'm sure they're also happy that they got away with such convincing rounds to start this off, right? That little boon of economy they had is going to fuel this rebuy. That's not a doubt. To win this game in the back rooms. That's what the desk kind of alluded to. That's what Devilwalk wanted to put his credit to.
Yeah.
You know, we know that Navi are a team that have a ton of support behind them. And you see in that interview when Blade even says, like, I'm not one to take attack pause to try to get players where they need to be mentally. So that's something you've got to come to the server with. You've got to find it within yourself. I almost feel like James is sort of that kind of guy as well.
Yeah, I think it's the logic is essentially it's already too late if I have to do that. And I think that's correct. You know, I mean, he's not playing in the server. Like, it's there's no time for a therapy session when you're already live. So that makes sense to me. And, you know, when we look at the upsets that have happened in playoffs and the potential for one today, I feel less like pressure is going to really affect both of these squads. The one question I have, though, for FURIA is this is a Yakinda revenge match. This is a quarterfinal to follow Austin, where he really disappeared.
Sure.
And since then, he's proved everything that he could, right? Winning trophies, being amazing in comebacks, in grand finals, everything like that. But again, this is quarterfinals at the Major. It's the only thing that could level the pressure up. James talked to Fallen on the All About CS podcast, and there was a lot of good information in there from Fallen, as you know.
Always.
Gold coming out of his mouth constantly. And there he said it's really just been his job to tell everybody, which I think is something he tells himself, to stay humble, keep your head down, take it round by round. You see them walk on stage all wearing glasses, and it feels like they're trying to not make light of the moment, but just remind themselves to have joy in each moment as the rounds play out. Because if like he said just now, if they're the team that feel less pressure in this game, they will win.
Sure. Yeah. It's almost a certain playfulness that you've got to bring to the stage. Don't forget why you fell in love with this game. Competitive essence, sure. Having fun is something that's often all too lost. I like that you touched on there too as well, just remain humble, right? Fallen's a guy who has all the reasons in the world to have an ego the size of the earth.
Yeah.
And yet he doesn't. He doesn't. And as he comes back with this,
Thank the heavens I haven't won as much as Fallen. I would be insufferable.
It's just cool to think that somebody like him can come over and you want to talk about putting ego on the back shelf. There's somebody who gave away the op for MONGOLZ to take over his position. And maybe that, had to be a look in the mirror moment and accepting that if you were going to remain in the server and not take Sid's job as a coach, that things had to change.
And I can only imagine the scrims where MONGOLZ picks up the op and you go, I mean, I don't even stand a chance. This is my teammate. He's not even killing me, but I already know that this is something that has to happen. But, I think there are some IGLs, they play very well with star players. There are some IGLs that struggle to play with star players. Fallen's one that's played with some of the greatest he has played with all of the greatest talents in Brazil's history. He's managed that many stars well. Kerrigan's another caller. These are 2 callers in the Hall of Fame. I don't think it's a coincidence. So when he says, and when Glaive has said this too, he brings on a new player, someone who's 20 years old at a demo or whatever it is, he's there to learn from them just as much as he is here to teach them how to play a modern level of game. Fallen said the same thing about MONGOLZ. He's here to make room for their ideas too, because we're playing CS2 now. There's no way that Fallen ends up revitalizing his whole career, bouncing back and coming back to #1 in the world if he tries to force his own sort of Counter-Strike mentality, Counter-Strike theory on the rest of his teammates. I've talked to Yakinder about this. He said we've got a bunch of nerds on the team. Everyone finding new smokes, bringing in new ideas. You got to have an IGL that'll let that breathe.
Let's see what kind of new tricks they have up their sleeves for this one. FURIA's first gun round nets them the round 4 win. Navi's economy was healthy. That's why you see them come back with everything they need, this wonderful op included. But as quickly as he can buy it, Yakindar's going to drop it towards the top of middle. And not the first time we've seen FURIA already look for that foray top mid. That is a wild swing from MONGOLZ. And the fact of the matter is it's just K-Serrato back towards Catwalk, signing up for this duel. But in doing so, he takes no damage and will regain that man advantage that FURIA fought for out of the game. Repeat here for Emet, trying to take the place of MONGOLZ. And he will, in terms of a corpse. And down towards underpass, Alexi holds one back. So we kind of go back and forth, but it's FURIA's advantage all the while.
Yeah, I think they overfished that moment when they tried to get into B with the second player. I mean, Imma, maybe when he takes that first peek, doesn't see anything okay. But if you don't expect FURIA to have rotated off of that huge scare that MONGOLZ just gave them, then you're kind of assuming they're going to play the situation really badly, which they didn't. So that feels like where the round actually dies. K-Serrato obviously takes full credit here for sticking to his position back on cap bricks, getting that first kill, and making sure MONGOLZ doesn't catch on fire early. But yeah, this actually is an option.
Timing to end it, but you also offer an opening.
Wait a second, this is definitely a live situation.
Yuri, though, so close to this bomb site, and Navi no other options. They're going to keep trudging along, and both these players beneath half health. Coverage there on the gap. Oh, but he gets cleared, and off of the bomb plant comes Alexi. He's going to need this headshot. Yuri trying to fish this out from behind boxes, but at which side does he peek? That's the question. Yuri's got them dead to rights. It's an opening offered up by FURIA, right? That cap push that could have ended the round, well, it almost reopened it.
That's a pretty wild 1v2. It was a great moment for Navi to actually bring that back. So close for them. And I feel they're the team that are going to be able to afford rounds like that last, obviously. And when we talk about the amount of players that can pop off on FURIA, somehow Yuri's at the bottom of the list. It's kind of ridiculous. He has put up some amazing rounds in this new lineup.
It's moments like that that remind you, if he's at the bottom of the list, you have a hell of a base on FURIA. So, happy to win that one. You know, you also heard that in the pregame interview with Ballin. Whoever feels less pressure and whoever can win the clutches.
Yes.
Well, that's a forced clutch, but FURIA's still able to just put it over the line. So, you let it go. And you know now, Navi's money early from those successful rounds has dried up. They'll enter this one with 3 Desert Eagles. As they sit back, we get this confident position here from Yakinder, happy to just spin around if need be. But it'll boil down to the timing. If top mid comes at him, he could just fall off the position. That's exactly what he'll do. Not allow for the underplayer to get anything going. Same as the top mid guys, it seemed. Emet hits the headshot. That's going to get K-Serrato out from the side of connector, covered by Cats. All's good. FURIA happy to sign up for these fights as the Deagle shots ring out. But Navi don't find enough to be proud of.
Gets a touch messy, obviously, but they keep 4 up. And, you know, the other half of this is like, you can get a good shot, push them back, but they know when they don't have to leave. I think that's something that comes with the territory of knowing you're a winning roster. That's the confidence that you have to try to break down if you're Navi before you can even really start winning. So a solid bounce back here for FURIA. They're back in the game, 3 rounds.
So here it comes, Launders, the very first Blade.
And we've heard about these tack pauses. We know they're incredibly dense. I don't know if anybody has a better words per minute in moments like these of quality speak. I think Blade was the guy that everyone wanted to know. After tack pauses, what's that team's win rate? I think the only thing that harms that stat is when they do it on an eco and then, you know, you're not sure if that factors in. That's where Math Guy gets you.
It's Math Guy versus Mystery Man.
The director. But there are moments we're watching the game, and there's moments where we would pause. Right? We would say, call a pause. And sometimes we call it out when it feels like a team is not taking those. That felt like a great time to do it. 3 back here for FURIA as we get into another rifle.
It's 3 without bomb plants too. And a lot of action towards top mid. thus far. Nade with Yuri's name on it. That's gonna drop him. We get this strong ace start out of FURIA because MONGOLZ's ops got a deep angle through the apartments. So just banking on the rookie towards B solo. But with so many players inside of A, you'd think Yuri can just watch this window for eternity. It's gonna take a lot to turn him. And so, as you hear that utility hit the bomb site, he remains locked in. No reason to look elsewhere because of the numbers that FURIA have positioned appropriately.
Ooh, no bomb spotted, but the bomb also is in mid trying to get into connector.
Looking to find its way out. Wonderful now wrapping that bomb back around towards the main entrances.
Slight paranoia from MONGOLZ to see if this is a fake, but in general, they're still leaving him over here by himself. They're still quite confident they knew what the plan was.
Just this constant jump spot as Quesarado is tasked to keep his head down. T's coming into this one now with a single smoke canister on Wonderful, a single flash on Bit. Very low utility here at 35 seconds. Could bank on the gun duels, and Bit finds one. Labored effort from Quesarado. That is not as clean as you would hope for. And yet still, we're back to the 2 versus 2. That bomb gets dropped in the attack to the bomb site. Yakindar's 30 health versus Bit on this bomb site.
MONGOLZ
goes for the recovery, and as he picks up that bomb, he'll also pick up the frag. MONGOLZ smoked off. That's a lot of space for NAVI, and he writes off this potential mid-threat. It's a done deal.
Okay.
NAVI put that squeeze on the A site and come out on top.
Loving the huge plays out of Bit. Another 3K for him and a round on the board off the tack for NAVI. Stay flexible, says Bit. Says Blade.
And Bit hears him.
Yeah.
You know,
and this is, yeah, and this is also Quesarado. He's taking a minute to put together the spray, but you see who gets the kills, the guy above. So, you know, best case for Quesarado, he gets 2 back off that play. Maybe he saves his teammate if he peeks out a little early. Look at disapproval up there from Gary.
Here's MONGOLZ though, you know, instead of leaving him passive over towards the B apps, why don't you get him active? Maybe that's why. Because off of a sudden flashbang, Imez got himself 2 easy pickups.
Wait a second, NAVI are frying here.
In a round where all the economy for FURIA is on the line, they face now this 3v5 with a pistol for Fallen.
That was the heaviest point of the attack. They sit over 2 guns that FURIA would like to get back.
Wow, total change of pace as well from NAVI. It's the same destination in this A site. Missed off shot could have reopened the threat, but fine is Bit with the headshot towards the ticket side. And that rotation, stomping all the while, is going to be found with the back turn. And so this one just remains easy for NAVI. Off of the squeeze into that bomb site to a well-timed flash, a golden flashbang, and a golden ticket to this 5-3 lead.
Will NAVI make FURIA regret potentially allowing this veto to happen? Obviously, Inferno is FURIA's pick, so we'll see about that. But so far, so good for the team that wins Mirage. This is what they do. I think it's been 6 in a row for NAVI on this map. Yep, that's 6 straight Mirage victories before this, including a win over FURIA.
You know, you asked, right? Like with the tactical timeouts, we never know if a team focuses in on the round immediately after or the next one after that. And I feel like sometimes Blade's good for the 2-for-1 package. And, you know, the tempo change up between those rounds. Either Alexi's a genius, which I'm not doubting either. But there's a world where Blade comes in and they have that kind of combo set. 2 very convincing rounds for NAVI back-to-back. Imez just got a bloodbath queued up. Feast, my friend. Quad kill made easy by way of FURIA's pistol. And so 3 rounds for NAVI to start, 3 for the rebuttal of FURIA, and 3 again here for NAVI.
Hey, job's not finished, but this half, they've already met their quota. 6 rounds. They're looking very strong.
And right on cue, huh? 3 more rounds in a row.
Right.
And the opposing coach takes his first timeout.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Titans right now, doing battle, heavy hitters. But you know, every time you open the door to communication to your own roster, the other team gets the same. Now the CT response in connector could have been a good play. The fact that there was the instant connector flash with 2 players swinging low. If FURIA had seen that coming, they would have opted for something different.
Luckily for us, it's a round where both teams come back with a purchase.
Oh, miss smoke. You know, some smokes aren't on purpose.
On Blade's team?
You know.
30 lashings.
That's yeah, that's a attack pause that's gonna feel a little less potent after that, but early in the rounds might be a non-factor. Question is Emma gonna come through this? There's always a right and wrong time to try something like this. Molodoi is actually quite vulnerable here. Now he's watching.
It would take some nerve. With a second smoke
it's an
down,
invitation.
he sees that as a chance to at least push one step closer. And with vision, now the timing could be at any moment. And he gets his fight into connector. Molodoi's got to turn. Oh, but he looks away. Makaze actually oversteps Ema in for the entry and the 5v4 advantage. Round 10 starts with an opening kill to Navi's favor, one where I feel like there could have been even more death and decay for FURIA to have to handle. Connector players survive that test. Yakindar steps back, sitting on only 50 points of health here. We've got this group up inside Connector. And as they inch their way closer to him, he tries to strike them down, but there has been no answer yet. Yuri's been rock solid within this bomb site, but he too destroyed. And there is not one piece of that defense that goes well for FURIA.
Whoa, the machine has started rolling here. K-Serrano, 1-on-5 situation. Navi have dominated mid in these last few tries. Makaze, he does this in front of Emma, made space in front of the smoke, got out and made it 2 frags. You could see that there was a bit of tentative hesitation out of Emma. Once he had got in front of the smoke, he thought maybe that's enough. Once he got that spray into connector, but someone survived. It was actually Molodoi who was nervous. Makaze recognized that, and they pick apart the setup. Navi, another heavily doubted team. And they wouldn't be if it wasn't for the fact that this is such a stacked playoffs, right? It's hard to entertain anything except for this, you know, 4 best teams potentially taking this.
Okay.
I was behind him. Not even through this. No luck involved in that one.
Just right on the side of the smoke. Makaze gets blasted to tomorrow. And we haven't seen any big mistakes come out from either team so far this map, so you'd think Desert Eagles shouldn't be enough.
Massive moves being made with very little bits of utility players on weak weapons, but the map control and the player advantage on their side. Got to be careful now.
Biggest issue we've seen so far was that one missed smoke out of Navi. Other than that, it's been a clean, high-level game of Counter-Strike. The right-timed pauses with results off the back of them.
This next bullet could be the round, could be recovery, could be a disaster.
Versus 3, though, Fallen awaits. Oh, how fast does the first one swing? Fast enough, but still Fallen keeps up. It's Alexi who pays the price for that entry. Oh,
there we go.
Wonderful. Clips K-Serrano on the jump over. Fire's gonna burn Yakindar ever closer. If Emet dies in middle, that would be a gun offered up, but everything's going. Oh,
come on.
What a snap.
Keep going.
And what a close here for Navi. 8 rounds on this T side. From the entries to the solo mid lurk, everything comes up their favor.
Fear the Navi that are having fun. It's a great spot that Fallen puts himself in, but it's perfectly tradable. It's an excellent second shot from Wonderful, and it's another disaster averted on a round that FURIA kind of had going for them. For a second, 5v3.
Yeah. And Blade's seen it all.
Yeah. But this is a sandbox. There's always new rounds to watch.
Pressure top mid out of the gate again here for FURIA. And not to mention that double op setup. Molodoi will be found, but can Fallen catch them off guard with the secondary. Yuri's headshot suddenly makes it feel like FURIA are gonna find one for the road. But here comes Wonderful. Mistimed knife swap. And as he jumps back into the Tetris side of things, it seems to be good. His teammate picks up a kill. And with K-Serrano down, Wonderful, whoa, missed. Shot up close, another chance from the big green. And Yakindar keeps that pressure on. A 3v2 for FURIA.
No, he's seen 3v2s, called them before, but I don't know. Navi brought them close.
So what's the recovery? The 1 round for the road. A moment for FURIA to catch their breath, it seems, to head into that much-needed T-side pistol with a bit more confidence than what you'd have if you let Navi slide away with all.
12 kills apiece on the 2 players alive here for Navi.
Whoa. That's going to confirm it. Yakindar's ready. And so he'll lock in his frag. Here comes E-Man. On for the clutch. Great cover here for Yakindar, but it's not enough. Or is it? Fallen able to take that gap shot in order to find the 1 round for the road. It was a burst of success early for FURIA. A 4th round at the tail end, but 4 is all they'll find. Preparation here for NAVI succeeds in the face of a FURIA that gave us something to talk about early. That string of 3 rounds had no bomb plants within it for the NAVI side, but Blade took that timeout, Mohan, and from the moment he took his timeout, it was nothing but NAVI until the final round of the half.
Like clockwork, he'd encountered Sids a few rounds later. This is a good looking NAVI.
Stay connected, a little more on the situations, and let's go.
And it's true, they have been through it all. They do know how to win from this position. Oh, the only new factor is the circumstances. The major quarterfinal, Makaze another kill. 7 frags, but also a lot of impact in that first half.
Okay. Oh, why not? Why not? NAVI just find a bit of a freebie there over top of Fallen, forced the call from the sidelines, and that's bomb possession as well, dropped on Catwalk. That could have made things awkward if MONGOLZ didn't get that instant kill right back.
You know, MONGOLZ, he had 3 kills last half. He missed that 1 op shot, and I just kind of skated by it because it's MONGOLZ. But since then, really failed to stand up with that op. He's going to try to make up for that here in the second half. He'll grab his 4th to make this round a little more competitive. And Yuri, will he take a timing? There's another risk where Alexi could just die because Yuri, normally wouldn't push out, but right now, he needs to find something for his team. Bit has already pushed the A ramp. He's not watching this.
Ooh.
Oh, that find is so sweet from Alexi.
Isn't that just lovely? Chance towards Palace as well to have found himself a second. That's gonna, oh!
Oh, 1 bullet. It's art, it's music.
You know what's sick is that Wonderful did it, Alexi did it, Bit did it. And then Imez here as well to find execution with the pistols. Navi's lead grows with momentum at the start of the defensive half.
That was beautiful to listen to, the precision there for Navi in a moment like this. They've got that snowball rolling.
Well, well, well.
This thing's about to turn into an avalanche.
Alexi's the cleanest of them all. Content with that one. No bomb plant means no money. No money means no force buy. FURIA gonna try to save it and hope that somebody makes a mistake, but a Desert Eagle entry from Molodoi at 4 kills, 12 deaths on the map. Just doesn't feel like it's his game thus far. Would be a hell of a time to do it. But this is already a supported MP9 by MONGOLZ off of Catwalk. Missed frag grenade while Alexi eats the flash, right? You had a couple pieces of util in your face, and they don't really do enough to stop this Navi momentum. The ball is fully rolling, and Yakindar slammed out of it as 5 players stand tall for Navi, securing double digits.
No bomb plants to work with. I know we got some Finns in the crowd.
You can just tell.
I think I saw a long drink out there.
My Moomin.
This is such a crazy moment for Navi. The team that got to Copenhagen finals and beat up FaZe in what felt like 2 hours.
When nobody expected it.
And here they are versus FURIA, the #1 pick to make grand finals.
Did a util here for Yuri behind him, that's fine. He's just gonna play counter flash and try to flex this movement down middle. Window player gets away, and gets away unscathed, notably. Still, flashes kind of interrupt the pace only momentarily. How much of a risk are Navi willing to run? Sometimes they can still feel so risk averse. But when you've got this much of a lead, this much of a comfort zone to work within, why wouldn't you? Just take a look. See if you can find a free frag versus, say, Fallen. Alexi keeps himself tucked into the corner. He's got cover inbound. MONGOLZ dead already. There's the answer back. It's from Molodoi and Yuri. This 2 versus 5 starts to come together. Shots whiz by both directions through that windowsill. 32 health here for Molodoi, certainly not ideal. And we've got Wonderful currently working with that defuse kit. They need an X-Factor moment, and they needed it 5 rounds ago, but they will take it here in the 15th if they have to. Locked into the corner, Molodoi awaits. Oh, and they will close this!
Oh, another incision from Molodoi. 32 health, both frags. Tradable spot, didn't happen. FURIA are back in the game.
2v5, just like that. No success out middle for the attack, but the apartments breaks through.
Sometimes Navi have some low moments. This is a game where it felt like you weren't going to have a round like that. A series of disasters that really took place. They dominated in mid. They had a layup to finish that. They couldn't. But really what's important with a 5-round gap is, does that become 2 rounds? Does it become 3? That's what's on Navi's mind as they take to this one with a couple of concessions. Long grenades, 1 kid on MONGOLZ, Alexi on an MP9.
Ooh, okay, I like this. Layer it up, right? We've seen Alexi a couple times be the solo van play. So instead of MONGOLZ maybe floating out around the bomb site, I thought maybe he'd stick around, but still gonna go towards bench. And at least you get that Colonel defense up against the wall. Little cat play. We'll see what does come their way, if anything at all.
Seeing nothing in the ramp as nades are coming over. So the thing is that they have this push up from Alexi, so they don't have to overreact to the information that they have guaranteed.
What Navi did forfeit was mid-play, and so here comes FURIA finding that opening as well. There's a high likelihood that Navi understand what's coming their direction, and we see that forward press start to fall back.
It's like a high-level read because they actually haven't moved.
More
doubled up in
utility.
an interesting spot. A-play's coming in.
It's going to block off the jungle side for Strong out connector. This is where Bit and Wonderful end up, and only one of them can find success, and one is enough. Triple kill from Wonderful. Slows it down long enough for Ema to get into the play. Molodoi 60 health to the top of Tetris. He'll catch one,
right.
But we've got Navi back to winning ways.
Oh, there were levels right there. Bit seeing the nades come over, calling a false flag on the play, knowing that there actually wasn't an A hit, but the CT's not actually moving.
And on top of that, with Bit not finding a kill, Wonderful had to make up for that and does.
There had to be some next level of depth to that read. Navi pulled this one out, and to be honest, it's the mechanics that bailed them out in the end. But they made so much space for their teammates to come in and rotate, playing double on A ramp, and they gave themselves 2 outs to find those trades. Obviously, Wonderful is 1 in a million at the moment. Rare form. And when NAVI won that major the first time in Copenhagen, it wasn't off the back of Wonderful. This is a whole different beast.
So Sly to line that up. You know, good on Bit, maybe the damage there. I'll give him some more credit than I did. Softens up that second target for Wonderful that he can commit to the mowdown. Now Navi feel like Mirage was just a foregone conclusion. You're 2 rounds from victory. You've just answered back to the 1 round that FURIA have punctured through with on this T side. And you've got all of the economy back.
Still believe in the round, do something, be positive, okay?
Always be creative.
Looks like that's working out.
That's the cinematographer in him.
And, you know, Yuri had a 1v2 moment. They didn't use X Factor to build momentum in this game, FURIA. They have a 2v5 victory as well.
Bomb drop, that's gonna make it awkward because the timing, it should have been perfect for Makaze. Now Imez gonna get jumped on by that Tech 9. Yo, he gets back around the corner, but there's more inside of jungle. And so Quesarado just takes the second target, tethers off connector, Bit turns within it.
Perfect pivot.
50 health here for Yakindar, bomb on his back, and an almost open B site. Just this one flash comes flying out from Market, and that's gonna give him info as to where this CT's at. The trajectory of that grenade gives Yakindar a bit of this picture.
Galil and 50 HP, man. Can you squeeze water from Stone here, Yakinder?
Look at the health on the others. Sure, Alexi's on 100, but Yakindar's, up close and personal.
Play to trade. That's all you have to do in a 3v1. And that's what they'll deliver. Not only does it look like a win is brewing here for Navi, but it's a stomp, it's a masterclass. It's a win in spite of a 1v2 from FURIA, a 2v5 from FURIA.
And what felt like could have been way more for Quesarado in that moment. If he catches Ema on that reload, on that fallback, what could have been. Instead, we get this jump out through the window once more. Navi sailing towards the second map of this series.
They're showing this level of prep on Mirage. How bad is it gonna get on Inferno?
Single rifle here for the attack of Yakindar. They're gonna try to just play with the timing by puncturing it out through the smoke. And pressure on the defenders means space taken here for FURIA. Bit gets the fade away. We've got the rebuttal. Off of the lesser weapons, it's 3. Molodoi connecting with a headshot. And we have been waiting for him to find his moment. Well, here it could be. Facing the map loss, 7 rounds needed, upgrade found, and now that he sits pretty on this op, with low economy on the side of Navi, do they believe in this 2 versus 3?
I feel as though crazier things have happened for them in this map. But with Molodoi on this gun, surely not.
Oh, that's a great flashbang. Gets the op shot out and finds Fallen.
Oh, you can't miss now.
Pause on that M4. Well, he didn't, he wasn't able to cover, so now he's got to get the jungle tool, and he does it.
They actually do it.
It all just falls apart. Onto the defuse. 0.2 seconds. That's what was left on that retake. That is how meticulous and fantastic Navi's Mirage just was.
That was beyond a script you could write. Navi come into this playoffs after what we just saw earlier today and somehow stun us even more. What a victory over the team that everyone thought would win this easily.
bringing the fire. We're bringing the fire. I just been bringing the fire. And they can't stop me.
You see the match. We see every restart behind it. You see lightning-fast reflexes. We see countless hours building trust. You see a single moment of triumph. We see the 1,000 failures that forged it. Victory isn't just the moment. We win because we reached it together. Level up as one.
I'm shooting my shot and I'm already grinning. You know that I'm one up on one of you sending. You know you've been cutting, you know I'm ascending. I'm one up, I'm winning. I'm one up, I'm winning. I'm one up, I'm winning. I'm one up, I'm winning.
The return of Area 51, Alienware's highest performance desktop yet. Equipped with powerful Intel Core Ultra processors. Innovative architecture designed for ultimate gaming. Engineered to evolve alongside your game. Encounter the legendary Area 51 at Alienware.com.
Create a lobby by your own rules.
From NAVI, the coach is here and we're about to break down a couple of rounds from Dust 2 against Spain. It starts with a round 6. Once the kills are starting to happen, especially for Makaze, he's going to get very nice opening on short. I love what Makaze is doing here. He instantly tries to, you know, molly the AWP and Opera is dead. CTs cannot pick it up. Actually, DGT manages to snatch it away, but he's taking space immediately, right?
I think here better to do HE instead of Molly, first of all. Then he'll get instantly damage, or maybe if he has no time, maybe AWP will go.
Fly away. Maybe you wanted to go for a A-split, it seems like. 3 guys are ready to go long here.
Yeah, very common round. Entry is good on any map on T side. 5 versus 4, you need to win every time, in my opinion.
This is round 8. This is where I feel like you get a little bit punished by a nice play that Pain is doing. They're having like an aggression towards B where Ime was about to throw a lurk smoke towards B. He gets flashed and basically Makaze is the one that is going to die here. It seems to me like there might be a little bit of panic going on because on one hand, I feel like Alexi B is immediately reacting to it by, you know, trying to go close and reclaim the tunnel area. Now he's going to get actually, I believe, Mollet from Bit. And that's when also like Ime starts to poke around maybe a little bit too early into the tunnel. Do you feel the same, that maybe we could have waited and actually clear it together with Alexi B from tunnel? Or was this something that Ime just felt right in the moment?
The situations are kind of unscripted, and you need to be flexible. You need to find common ground to be on the same page, which is the most difficult in modern CS. Those teams who play these situations the best are winning tournaments. You tried, maybe it's not the best.
He almost killed him, to be honest. He almost brought it back a disadvantage situation.
Yes, and also you need to play a lot with micro, let's say.
One last situation that I want to just cover is round 11. I think there is a cool micro from your players, very good understanding how to adjust, and you again go for a B split in the end. And I want to notice especially guys in B, because Alexi is going to basically run through middle, again kind of like scripted finish on B. Bait is flashing for Alexi now, and your guys are going to be smoked off in the tunnel. And I love how they actually instantly, as they're smoked, Drin is instantly flashing through and he understands he needs to go. So this is what I love from players when they're initiative and creative enough to understand how to get out of bad situation, because it's not cool to split B with smoke through tunnel, right?
I think being blocked on T side is very common nowadays, and yeah, we just had this kind of reaction protocol what we should do, because they need to go at the same time in that round, which is the most efficient way, right? You should not go one side and then another one. Somebody will sacrifice, others will drain.
It was my pleasure to talk to you about a couple of rounds here. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
What's the first thing you're going to purchase with the prize money from Budapest?
Lollipop for Jacob.
I would probably buy some gift for my parents. Actually, I really appreciate them always supporting me, so I would choose something nice for them and maybe buy some holiday or something like this.
I'm keeping money. I don't really waste a lot of them.
New PC?
I mean, it's gonna go towards the vacation instantly, that's for sure.
Probably nothing, but I would just keep it in my bank account and lose all the interest on it.
Honestly, probably a Christmas tree to kind of decorate at home.
Maybe hats. Yeah, new hat.
McLaren hat?
Yeah, maybe.
Backpack, Louis Vuitton.
I bought almost everything I wanted with the career I have, so now it's about saving and using it wisely for my life.
Maybe some gifts for my girlfriend? I have no idea. Maybe probably some Christmas gifts, because I need to buy something when I come home. I will buy some gifts for my family.
Not sure, I probably invested in something.
Probably my car, like the first car, yeah.
Food.
Give my parents all mine.
I don't know, it'll probably end up being some toys for my daughter or something, I don't know.
Hi Im, welcome to the arena. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So MONGOLZ phase is being played right now, and you're up next on stage against Peak FURIA. I think a lot of drums will be included as well. How are the nerves?
No nerves at all.
No?
Nah.
What about the rest of the team?
No nerves at all.
Yeah?
No.
Okay, that sounds amazing. And you had a few days off. I mean, you probably practiced as well and relaxed in between. Did Blade come up with anything new for the playoffs? Can you tell me?
Obviously, I'm not gonna reveal anything. You will see it most likely. Okay. But yeah, we didn't have off days. We were practicing, we're preparing for this game, and then we just need to see how it goes.
Okay. And how is it feeling?
Feeling good.
Yeah. Okay. And if that doesn't work, then it's Makaze go kill and nice wonderful.
Exactly.
Okay. Im, what I wanted to know as well, like looking again that you're going to be matched up against FURIA now, and they're one of the favorites in this event for, well, in many people's opinion. How do you feel being the underdog in this matchup?
I mean, speaking about underdogs, I think it fits us mostly than favorites, but also speaking about favorites, I don't think in playoffs, at the major especially, it's any favorites. I think it's anyone's game if you play good, if you're on point, and then if you just do less mistakes than the other team.
Right. Im, thank you so much for the answers. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I will let you go to the team and prep, and I wish you best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One shot before. Only kitchen, Valera. Я выхожу. Kitchen dead. It's short player, short player. Jump down. Я забираю. Cannot be shot. Kitchen one more. You heard kitchen. Maybe dead window. I have kitchen. Con. I have kitchen. One last. No! Хорош, красава нахуй. What the freak? What the fuck? Drop it. One should be both. Nice. I can flash the swing. I flashed above us. Jungle.
41, yes. I'm going back to kitchen.
Chill, Valera. Who's holding you?
Nice. Boys. Let's go. Team Ace. Come on, guys. Nice.
Sound like.
I just spoke with Sid, the FURIA coach, and we were talking about this map. Obviously, it didn't go at all according to their plan. I asked him about the mistakes that they were making, and he mentioned a lot of basic mistakes. Something that you don't usually see out of FURIA, who is like well-oiled team, but he also mentioned that the pressure is really getting to them. So in the break time, it's his duty as a coach right now to bring the guys up, and he will talk to them specifically about this pressure, because this is not FURIA that we know and love. Let's see how it goes on the map too.
Yo, I found some Brazil fans. You came all the way from Brazil here.
I live in France, but I come from Rio. So being a fan of FURIA for a long time, so came here to support them.
What about you?
I live in Portugal, but come from Brazil too, and supporting FURIA to be champion today.
Okay.
On the
Can I hear FURIA chant?
Vamos ver a FURIA ser campeão. A triboneira, meu caldeirão. Vamos FURIA!
FURIA ser campeão. La triboneira,
meu caldeirão.
Você pra FURIA ser campeão.
Na triboneira, meu caldeirão. Vamos FURIA!
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, much to the dismay of many FURIA fans in the arena, it's actually NAVI in cruise control and hardly breaking a sweat in the first map of this series. Incredibly decisive to be beginning their playoffs campaign, and even more impressive, Maui, to do so versus one of the teams that many touted as the absolute favorites to be lifting the trophy here in Budapest.
They are, but there's familiarity, and that's what you do not want to give Alexi. It's not what you do not want to give Blade. Devilwalk talked about it in the pregame, that obviously preparation is going to be key in this, and you would be hard-pressed to look at the entire field of Tier 1 Counter-Strike brain trusts in terms of IGL plus coach and pick a better one, and I feel like Alexi and Blade clearly showed what their value is when they just simply dismantled FURIA from so many different angles in this matchup.
And it's the discipline of the players, because a lot of the rounds, when you got pressured as an individual on the NAVI side, they only went for the small info peaks, they only didn't really overcommit in any situations, they waited for backup, and then kind of demolished the FURIA players one by one. I felt it was just an excellent game from NAVI. They never really gave them FURIA a chance to kind of kill them. It was always in control from NAVI from start to finish. Maybe a little bit in the beginning when it was kind of a brawl and fight for the economy. That's when they kind of shaped up and actually took control of it. Because that T side was exceptional from Alexi B and Blade. Like absolute, masterclass Counter-Strike.
It was indeed. Literally every single player from NAVI firing on all cylinders. Sometimes we say, you need a couple of players to come alive. When all 5 are shooting hard, you're in for a bad time, Maui.
And that's really been how 2024 NAVI operated as well. You never really know who the first point of attack is going to be on any of their approaches, and especially on Mirage. When there's pressure from Bit and Palace, when there's pressure from Ima and Alexi towards middle, usually there's sometimes a wild card player that gets into window, sometimes waiting at ramp. I just feel like there's so many different looks, and they all seemingly start so similarly, Devilwalk. When NAVI are getting into the situations that they want, creating the game states where they're taking mid, there's so little you can do. It's so constricting to play against a team like that, because you, as FURIA, don't want to make a misstep and play into wherever the majority of NAVI players are, but they disguise it so well where the actual hit is, and even sometimes where the majority of their players are going to be coming from.
Yeah, and having an Opper, having him as the rifler, kind of the X-Factor player of this NAVI, deliver the performances from the get-go. I mean, we saw wonderful kind of starting off. I think 3 rounds in, he was 9-1. That's the kind of start you need as Wonderful. That's the kind of start you need as NAVI. When your star Opper is actually hitting those numbers, it just brings so much belief into that side early on. And they kind of just snowballed with it. They kind of just went with it, and it was impossible for FURIA to stop them.
Yeah, should we go back to the first round of this very map? Because you're totally right, Devil Walk. He can do it with an AWP, he can do it with a pistol as well. Wonderful, an excellent start to this map of Mirage.
Yeah, I think we kind of highlighted that MONGOLZ would be the opera of this series, but Wonderful is definitely making the case that he should be, you know, the highlight name of this series, because having this kind of start, bringing them the pistol round in probably a pretty awkward round for this NAVI side, he was just lights out in this game.
He's just been their best player now for 2 weeks straight, which is weirdly, seems like a short amount of time, but it's just the surge that he's providing NAVI, just going above and beyond. The pistol round there, a couple of the rounds where he has the AWP, especially late round situations. I mean, he's brought the mentality that he usually maintains through group stages now to the quarterfinals. This is where NAVI become such a dangerous team that can seriously find upset victories versus anybody, because honestly, like, that was really the main hole you would poke into Wonderful's cases. Being one of the elite operas is that usually at a tournament, you could just bet on it. You could bet on it, whether it's quarterfinals, semis, or grand finals. He's going to have a huge slip up. So for him to start round one and just give himself that confidence, thrust himself into the situation like that, it's everything for NAVI.
Yeah, excellent return to form from Wonderful and the most opportune moment as well. Now, Maui, I know you're a fan of an Alexi B T-side masterclass. You've got a round for us. Why did you pick this one out?
I mean, this was a 4v5 start where NAVI lost the opening pick, but I would say this is twofold. I mean, one, the crunch from NAVI is excellent. It reminds me of their 2024, where all of the FURIA players are caught off guard, but the lack of utility that they used, they didn't actually throw almost any smokes in this one. There was no CT smoke, there was no jungle smoke. They went for all of these fights in different directions, and usually you think that's a flaw. You think that's a mistake, where why are you not smoking off one of the angles that the CTs can get you from? But in fact, it left FURIA the ones scratching their heads. They had two guys jungle, and they didn't know whether they should fight, stay still, peek, and that, for some reason, these are the kind of little mix-ups that Blade and Alexi B have. These other little just wrinkles in their tactics that make it so hard to play catch-up if you're FURIA.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you talked about Blade, the preparation as well. I think this is the NAVI. They're the most dangerous when they get this amount of time to prep. They get the, you know, to kind of grind in the details, know exactly, because we saw a lot of these rounds, even that round with Alexi B, he knew MONGOLZ would be coming from that short side. He knew that he was just waiting and making sure that he's gonna, you know, kill him when he makes that rotation. So it almost felt like they were on the control no matter what, even in that 2v2. And Bit actually, you know, coming alive in this playoff, coming alive in this game. He's been really slow in getting his numbers up and bringing that import for NAVI. And if he's continuing to deliver like this, they're an incredibly, you know, it's a devastating team to play against.
Let's put the shoe on the other foot just for a moment, though, because let's be bluntly honest, this was a dismal start from FURIA on this particular map. Round 15 comes about, and they do manage to convert a 2v5. And I'm left here thinking, okay, this could be the comeback moment, a moment that MONGOLZ needed so desperately as well, Devil Walk.
Yeah, he had a terrible kind of start to this game. We saw his frustration. But it's kind of the fact that even in this round, I feel like NAVI is playing great Counter-Strike. It feels like FURIA needs to hit some amazing shots, kind of scrap their way into a round. MONGOLZ here, two beauties to kind of finish it off. But it was so difficult to get those rounds into FURIA's hand. It was so difficult. Every single time, it was tooth and nail. They had to crawl their way back from a difficult situation. And, you know, you're left wondering, you know, if they're going to play like this, NAVI, they're going to need to wake up and need to step up on a big scale going into the next map.
And the problem was for FURIA, they couldn't sustain that. That was, unfortunately, the last round they won in the entire map. How did NAVI clap back instantly after that?
I mean, we could look at the next round. I mean, there's just so many moments where NAVI is the team that's being a bit more proactive. I mean, they're emboldened by the fact that their riflers and their opera are in form, but I just love the fact that in this very similar situation to the crunch that NAVI pulled off against FURIA, it's NAVI who have two players towards the ramp. They're doubling up. They're able to get the one kill towards Palace, cuts off one prong of the attack, and then Wonderful stays alive for such a long time that all of the rotations are able to come in, so Ima gets a clean side swipe on MONGOLZ, desperately trying to dislodge him. It's just the little extra proactivity that I think Blade talked about live as we had a little quote from him in the game, just being creative, making sure that we're playing on our own terms. That's the kind of stuff that Prime NAVI always did, and FURIA, for whatever reason, almost were just too reactive in this game.
It's also like when they get that space, it's almost like like FURIA didn't really know what to do with it, because NAVI knew exactly they're going to chase Wonderful. We need to get our rotations. They covered him. They let the kind of space and time almost destroy FURIA in this reaction, because sometimes it can be hard if you're left in a fight, you're going up this mid-ramp, maybe you're expecting jungle fights, close default fights, where you're expecting the battles to happen, but they just kept giving them space, and they're disciplined, the rotations already came in, and it almost became a double crossfire from that Tetris and CT side.
And then, quite literally, the final nail in the coffin, the final round of the game. You know, FURIA, they managed to get out on the bomb side, they managed to plant the bomb. We're saying, you know, are NAVI going to be saving in this situation? They don't. They have the balls to go for the retake. Pays off.
This is ridiculous. I mean, the fact that it's Alexi B and MONGOLZ as well, I mean, quite unlikely suspects, but I love that they just keep giving themselves more chances, more looks in this kind of round. First of all, MONGOLZ's flashing for Alexi B to peek from spawn, but then MONGOLZ still reroutes through jungle, and you could just tell that FURIA were none the wiser. They did not know that fight was going to be coming. They didn't think that timing was going to happen, and they're just caught with their pants down. I mean, no, like, maybe that is a devil walk reference, in fact. The way that FURIA looked in that kind of round was just so uncharacteristic of what we've seen from them for the last 2 months.
We can see the Scope GG stats here as well. Siding with MONGOLZ coming into this one in terms of some of the key opening jewels around this Mirage 2. How are things shaping up then as we do move forward to this Inferno? Because as Maui put it, very uncharacteristic form from FURIA, but this is their map pick. This is what lays in wait. Gonna have to start on the T side though. What are you thinking, Devil?
I mean, I'm still a little bit scared for FURIA, because this is not a map that NAVI is not comfortable on. You know, Bit is almost like known for that anchor position on A side, that pit position, balcony. He can be very destructive from there. And I think the only real question mark has always been like the banana side. Have they fixed it for NAVI? But FURIA, great kind of setups. There's CT side. I love the way they approach banana side on CT. Yakinder and Fallen. It's almost like they're masking that they're 3 people, but they're only really playing 2 on that top banana side. They have so many different variations, and it's beautiful CS to watch when it works for this FURIA side. But I'm getting a little bit worried.
I mean, the sponsor odds are getting a little bit worried as well. Now siding just a little bit with NAVI. Do you believe in this, though, or do you smell our first 3-map affair here in Budapest?
I would bet on the fact that it's going to go the distance, that we're going to get a 3rd map. FURIA have shown me too much this season, and even though their backs are against the wall, I've seen FURIA lose map picks in the past. I've seen them been down in series. I mean, they were down again 2-0 in the Thunder pick, BO5, and they were able to bring it all the way back. That being said, though, they did lose Inferno. So that's one of the worrying signs about this one, that, you know, NAVI, Blade, they've tasted blood on this matchup in particular. And so I would think that if you're Fallen right now, this is where you have to show your expertise as a leader, not just as a tactician, which they have in spades in terms of ideas and strategies, but being able to help reset Molodoi, because this guy was just in a hole of himself in terms of what he was, how he was opping on that CT side. There was nothing to show for what he did when he had the AWP in his hand, and that was reminiscent of what I saw at Austin. And that is a very scary prospect for a guy that is already cemented himself as the Rookie of the Year to go down fighting in this fashion, or really just go down screaming. I mean, you need to show something in terms of actually biting back against NAVI here.
It's such a key piece of that FURIA puzzle as well. Molodoi cannot go big come absent as well on the second map, right?
No, he's a win factor for them. He's a key player. He needs to be able to bring that AWP down and get some entries going for this FURIA side. But NAVI, they're so difficult to gain that advantage from, because they're so disciplined, they're so structured. So I'm starting to feel like, is he going to get enough of chances to actually get that done? Or is NAVI going to be able to block him off with utility and play their A game?
Truly do or die time here for FURIA in Budapest. It is time to dive on in to Inferno.
Do or die for a team that so many anticipated making it to the grand finals, if not lifting that trophy again. But we've seen favorites fall on this stage. And so Budapest, here they go, versus up a NAVI team that has previously won this very same map over FURIA not too long ago. You never tell NAVI the odds.
You never tell NAVI the odds. Words to live by.
We get a fast opening move down Banana here for Alexi B. Devilwalk had a lot of emphasis on Banana as this map goes forward. We'll see if it ends up being an avenue of attack. For the moment, it's the Arch side. Yakinder's got the opening kill, but there's teammates here to help him. Oh, MONGOLZ able to shave MONGOLZ off of it with a headshot. They kind of get stalled out momentarily. But we will find FURIA with that rebuttal, that 4 versus 3, and the fast flank down Banana.
Oh no, surely not.
Oh! It gets found out, but it doesn't get dealt with. That's the open door to double back. Knowing that Alexi has pushed means FURIA can take over B.
They gotta go quickly. Alexi's here to meet him. Right at the pass, Kinder gets a really important frag.
What about the cover? Bomb plant behind that fountain. Oh, it's just clinical with the headshots. FURIA find first blood.
This is a game that feels like it's over. It feels like FURIA are gonna lose. It feels like after Mirage, we have very low expectations. We've seen teams crumble already. That's the thing. That's where it feels a little scary for FURIA. They need to come off the break, show us that that's all different. They knew what the veto was going to be, so did NAVI. They have to prove in those first 2 maps, like back at Thunderpick, that they aren't going to let that result happen again. And from that perspective, there should be no surprises. Both teams know they can play Inferno. They put the pressure back on a NAVI a little bit with this pistol. Let's see if they make it too.
No team gets to secure World's #1 without being tested.
That's going to hurt.
In terms of trying to hold it.
And that's kind of what you want to see, man. You want to see tactics get kills.
Sure.
In a game like this. That's actually, I think, a lot what won the map back on Mirage for NAVI.
I mean, there's a lot of praise to go around for the tacticians on both these teams.
Also a big thing, elephant in the room, MONGOLZ, he ended that game missing. He had a bad map, he ended it badly. That's also not something that we expected.
It's just been such a rock for FURIA in their run to World's #1. We go back to Austin with the quarterfinal shortcomings of FURIA there. We didn't know that FURIA would go on to be this great. And so they step into these quarterfinals with such higher expectations from within, from the community. And right now, expectations would be convert this pistol. 5 versus 4 coming with it. Everybody inside of the bracket control here for FURIA, but this is still numbers strong NAVI on this A site, and we already start to see that peel back from B for Alexi. Frag Grenade's gonna whittle down a little bit of health from 3. You've got K-Serrato low on 40. Pistol's trying to take position inside of the site, and Wonderful finds a headshot. Bit's next up. Wonderful's got another. It's a bloodbath. It's a slaughter. It's a forced by victory, NAVI.
It's a total massacre. No way they pulled that off. Split got into place. It's around that. FURIA wanted to play down to the wire, closing in on 20 seconds and under. Whoa, they get this from a 4v5. It's MONGOLZ going down early to Molotovs. It's all looking so sweet for FURIA.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Not what FURIA needed in this moment.
Not at all. They need to steal this back as soon as possible. We saw what NAVI did to FaZe back in Copenhagen on this map. Everyone knows why we call it Bitferno sometimes. Ima pre-game, any nerves? No nerves. Any nerves from your teammates? No nerves from anybody. Words don't mean a lot from everybody, but certain teams, NAVI are of that stature. NAVI have proved it when the lights have been the brightest.
I think that's something even back at stage 3 when we had Ima interviews, he kind of alluded to it as well, that Blade's cool, collected mood has kind of been donned by the other parts of NAVI. You know, Alexi B is your in-game leader, but we know that Blade has kind of been sharpening Ima as that secondary caller. And we've seen them butt heads in the past. And it feels like that's when the cracks of NAVI would grow. But if they're both coming in so level-headed, then why would there be pressure? Because they're learning to deal with it.
I'm not trying to see this round get late. You know, FURIA, it's not a position where NAVI are going to scramble to try to figure this out. They need to try to turn this into a win or go and die, honestly, because they don't have a lot of money, no good guns to save.
Yukindar still up in the apartments. Everybody else for FURIA ready to go off mid. Wonderful starts to get back into the bomb site. And yeah, NAVI can feel this pressure. It's coming in quick. Flashes and the Tech 9s trying to just bolster through. Bit's got the first one. We'll stay on him. He's able to just lay that lead down range.
Oh, he loves the camera.
Oh, yeah. Whips it back around towards Moto's side, and that's Bit quad kill.
Sir.
Now we go back to Copenhagen, to when NAVI, out of nowhere, were able to win that major. And it's not because Wonderful played brilliantly, was it, Launders?
No, it wasn't. It was because Bit woke up. It was a playoffs where everybody was failing except for JL. He was the only guy to really talk about. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Bit on Inferno awakened like a phoenix, showed up and absolutely took over the game. It's a big save. No bomb plant for FURIA.
Bit's somebody who can sometimes go under the radar.
Big time, and it's because his form is so streaky.
But you've got to give his peaks the credit that they're due.
Yeah.
You know, one of the few players who's won a CSGO and CS2 major. A guy whose headshot percentage once upon a time was so far above everybody else.
It was his very first map in a NAVI jersey. He was on Inferno. That's when he was looking through Blade's notes. He was looking confused. He was extremely stressed.
So lost.
His aim from NAVI Junior wasn't even close. He was one of the rookies to follow after Monacy, where we wondered, is he going to be another phenom? And it didn't look like it. With some time, he got everything into place. He figured it out.
Somebody who's been crafted by Blade for so long now, right? Sharpened to the peaks we've seen. So he will be a reliable piece as this round continues towards an A site. Smoke fading, flash right ahead of it, and again, it's just pistols. And these pistols aren't finding all too much. Wonderful's double kill will be answered back with one. That queues up Imez double, and with Molodoy on a quarter HP, no teammates left. It is a cleanup here for Navi as they go 3-1 out of the gate off the force buy.
If you don't have confidence on Inferno, this map just feels impossible. T-side just feels... The map feels tiny. It feels like you've got no options. CT grenades can be so punishing. We're seeing a lot of calmness in from even Immo walking into this next fight after Wonderful die. They know the round is over. They believe it. It's in the slogan. It's a playoffs where no one can be doubted. The only reason that Navi fall to the wayside in conversations because there's so many other good conversations to have. It doesn't feel like Navi, got lucky to get here like they did in Copenhagen. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like everyone's just better than them, that's all. Remember, they're the one who gave Vitality a massive scare coming into playoffs. They could have easily taken Vitality out and put them into the 2-2 game before this quarterfinals was set.
That was a 13-11, 13-11.
And this is the draw they get because they lost that game. They get to play against FURIA, and now here they are, up a map. Flying start here on CT side of Inferno. They were left embarrassed in that best of 5 the last time they played FURIA.
Faster moves this time by FURIA, already trying to pounce out through the brackets. They're going to take this test towards Wonderful, and his first shot is a whip. As is all of Bit's spray. There we go. FURIA get it going into the A-bomb site. Emas short, cuts down 2 players. That could be critical for the retake, but you still offered the guns, the bomb plant, and this smoke on Moto.
With an op-in play, I mean, this actually might be off limits for the CT side. We got CT spawn rotation for Alexi. No one's coming in from halls. It's going to be a very risky retake. It could cost them a lot to try to go for this.
Fallen locked into the pit. Oh, he's got Molodoy to his side. Interesting to see Molodoy hanging on to the AK while Fallen swings that off.
This would just be
so the pressure stays on with the fire being extinguished. Fallen hits his. Molodoy queued up for one, and never did Alexi get a chance to take a look at this bomb site. So Navi think that maybe there was something here to pull on, but I love that FURIA show us a bit of ferociousness. One of the fastest rounds of the attack so far between these maps. And it is just a barrel towards that A site, because if you're going to go down in this quarterfinal, then you better go down swinging.
Leave it all out on the table, and you've got nothing to be ashamed about. I think that's the most important thing, and not the irony, but the coincidence with that is if they do leave it all out on the table, they'll probably win, right? They are just that good. They have just that many good players that I'm sensing that someone's leaving tonight, ending tonight with a lot of regret.
But here it is.
But they catch a tempo off of this round too, and that's I think why Navi wanted to get into it. If they brought it down to 1 player, at least they steal back some of the economy, but it's a free op picked up for FURIA, so it's a nice way back into the game.
And all while Navi knew they would have a buy on the other side, and we see this instant timeout called by Blade as well. So yeah, they've got faith in their ability to rebuttal after one.
It almost feels like they, you know, ideally they save with a couple players, they test that. Maybe if there's a huge mistake, they win it. But if they, worst case, they get a couple kills, get out, and then the next round, they crush the economy again. But they don't, you know, that's why it's so high reward for FURIA to win a round like that. Great chance for them.
Navi's willingness to kind of push the limits early.
Guys, we need to focus, please. I don't know what is happening, but can we focus?
It's like a pre-tack message. Get everyone back in order.
Yeah. I feel like that's the first thing he said when that tactical timeout came through, and then he got to work. So here we go towards Banana. Furia's presence on the other side of that half wall. MONGOLZ looks to lock in. And I mean, there's been no shy amount of grenades coming his direction. So, yes, sir. MONGOLZ, snapshot down onto MONGOLZ. No retreat allowed. 5v4 FURIA.
That's what was missing on Mirage. Great flick from MONGOLZ. Another 5v4 situation for FURIA. And instantly, everyone at his back.
Get another layer of defense, though, behind this. The frag grenade is very well placed. 40 damage for K-Serrato is nothing to scoff at. Alexi B lingers ever so slightly here. We've got that flashbang in hand for his teammate. When does it come over? Oh, insta-kill for the boost. And then he's able to get back into the cover, and with that flash coming through, Fallen was blinded, but he still lines up that headshot before Alexi can get a second.
The layered tactic was wonderful, but here's wonderful.
With an A site that's vacant on one half of it, him solo playing Arch, does he have the gall to go for this peak? He's starting to inch it closer, but with that smoke grenade in front of him, 20 seconds, they're now gonna start prioritizing this blood.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa, right between those targets, his op shot sails by. This time save called. Navi right off this round, and FURIA will find a tied game early.
Pre-planned here to get out of there. So MONGOLZ's opener is massive. The flash to get that into from 1 kill to 2 from Navi was excellent. They pulled that off. And I want to give Alexi B a shout out, actually. You want to compare IGL's fragging right now. Fallen had a really poor performance back on Mirage. Alexi was outstanding on frags, and he's standing up to try to match Wonderful and Bit, who were absolutely incredible. And everybody on the team actually delivered big time. So
that is a sign of good things to come. That MONGOLZ shot?
Yeah.
Visibly frustrated back on Mirage with his individual level. MONGOLZ not allowed to get into the action this round whatsoever.
I mean, we've been following MONGOLZ. It's been such an ephemeral amount of time that we just keep, you know, we don't hesitate and stop, you know, making grand comparisons. But when this kid reminds us of Simple sometimes, you know, has a bad map, it's a moment where we remember, you know, if you want to be a legend, you want to be remembered as a legend. It's games like this, it's runs like this. They have to be completed.
Yeah, I'm so sick of talking about potential.
We've already got Falcons out. You know, we had Mouse end up losing to FaZe. Like, there are results that will happen in this playoffs that no one's ready for.
It's the nature of the beast with how stacked things have been here in Budapest. So both teams come into round 7 with guns. This is a similar start to the way Mirage went. Now MONGOLZ freed up with this MP9. Okay, jumping over K-Serrato. Last round we had that frag grenade sailing down to K-Serrato. This time it's a player on his head. And some utility to try to answer back, but Yuri ends up eating damage and not able to catch him on the recover. So that's MONGOLZ gone, and Wonderful takes an op angle in the meantime.
Not the most amount of kills for MONGOLZ, even in the recent weeks, actually. You know, his form joining into Navi was very special. I thought he did a great job of... Oh, that's big. That's the op spotted at the bomb spotted at a minute. The opper down on the round. Wonderful.
And watch him as he sits on this angle. They'll have to smoke him off. And he doesn't send anything through it just yet.
I mean, this is an impossible position for FURIA, right? They've got, I mean, it's bottom B dominance. It's 5 players up on the map here for Navi. If FURIA want to ignore this, they're going to run into a brick wall on the A site. And so it feels like actually a prolonged save unless they're going to make this happen towards B. Crazy how impactful that one frag was. But MONGOLZ, yeah, a rookie that we haven't, again, talked about that much with MONGOLZ here, with Kiosuke over in the other quarter is getting eliminated earlier. MONGOLZ hasn't been a donk or anything like that, but he has absolutely been a great piece for NAVI. And in the shadow that JL casted, everyone doubted this new lineup. And MONGOLZ went from, again, I think too much actually relied on him to do everything in the beginning to it becoming a healthier NAVI where now there's other contributors. The real question is, you know, was Wonderful and Bit going to get their form together?
Right.
Because that was the part of the core I feel like was most missing in the most recent months.
Well, Wonderful stepped up to the major, and he delivered in that regard.
And even MONGOLZ's actual frag counts on Mirage, it wasn't very high, but lots of quality kills in there.
So for now, FURIA left scratching their heads as Banana Control becomes a bit of a contest, and one that they're not really winning. Not with the confidence that comes up from MONGOLZ. Again, he's going to try to find something to work with here. And, you know, throwing himself into these threats takes a lot of bravery, especially when you sit down at 2 and 4. But once more, he has been given a chance to lock into the depths of Banana. Right out of the gate, I mean, FURIA, we just see them kind of treading water in that last round, unable to really move with Banana Control being so secured by NAVI so quickly.
The way they set up MONGOLZ here, he came in very light. This is actually a world where this ends up being an A move, but they throw some light grenades to try to counter this presence over on B. Okay, the second smoke comes down the bottom of B. I'm a little unnerved by the fact that FURIA are taking so long to make these rounds happen. One thing is they avoid some HE damage, they avoid some Molotov damage, and they make it a 5v5 late into the rounds. But Navi like playing late round situations.
Oh, yeah, to a flaw.
They love it.
Oh, missed chance. Wonderful what could have been. Here comes the flashbang towards Banana. MONGOLZ, that's thin cover, brother. Back to it, he'll go. Ooh, what could have. Now from the corner, Alexi B collects the headshot onto Yuri, and it wasn't just MONGOLZ here. He had those two teammates right behind him, and the fire doesn't spread, but the follow-up sure will.
Okay,
Holodoy burns him out.
But only in dollars. 20 seconds now, and this is where it gets dangerous for FURIA. Kinder's just a lurker on the other side of the map.
Man, and Imez just stuck in, holding into the back of that bomb site. Wonderful shot made easy.
So free.
Molotov goes down with nothing. It's a sitting duck. It seemed like fake plant once from K-Serrato punished, and Navi have had control of this bomb site since the get-go.
I mean, come on, tell me they look like themselves. They look like they're Navi, and that's not a good sign for FURIA. Because if you're not going to be yourself, you're not going to win. FURIA know how to make that kind of play work.
This is 2 rounds in a row where the clock fizzles out versus FURIA. One was obviously that majority save.
I mean, I got lots of praise for Fallen, the journey on the comeback. I mean, Stico talked to all of them up there. The amount of stories that FURIA have, it's unending. But the fact that Fallen cast the biggest shadow of all with his resurgence, well, it feels like the foggy calling back on Mirage and some of the calling here. In a world where nothing seems to be working for FURIA, that might be the most important thing. It's nerves, it's pressure.
And, you know, the closer we get to this FURIA loss, and we're not there yet, the closer we get, the more I think back to Austin.
Yeah.
That was another quarterfinal failure, and it's one before they were able to lift trophies. We didn't think that FURIA could necessarily win events, and they may have exceeded those expectations, but what we don't really talk about is that they also faltered versus one of the least likely playoff attendees.
Absolutely.
You didn't just go up against another Titan and lose. No, you failed to win what was arguably the easiest quarterfinal.
I mean, we can't thread a special narrative for FURIA. We've dished out that criticism for every team.
Exactly.
So
exactly,
it's the pressure of the quarterfinals. Yes, FURIA proved the most of any team coming into this situation, but it's still the major. It's the one.
And it's really not a conversation that we've had much, I think, surrounding this potential run in Budapest. But it's one that may start to haunt them. Missed util, not ideal. Navi's defense misses the mark with that one. Not the first grenade they've missed in this quarterfinal, but yeah, you missed 2, and I think K-Serrato's happy to step up. 2 missed incendiaries. What a waste of money and resources here for Navi, so don't be surprised when FURIA try to take a test towards your direction. They know that there shouldn't be more fire on the ground as they approach. They'll smoke out that cross. Alexi opens it, backs turn to it, and as he nails the double kill, they will, sure, clear out the bomb site and track him down with the frag grenade. Support's inbound, but it's whittled down as well. Emet cut to 29 health. as these half HP players for FURIA just sink into the back of this bomb site. One climbs up, the other locks in.
They try to take Pool out of the equation. There's no anyone on Banana right now. He's playing from above. Low HP, 100 HP between them.
Still good util here. There it comes. Flames at the beat of Yuri. He tries to buy time, swings out wide. Fallen's got to go massive.
My
He won't. He falters.
It's beautiful. It's art.
Finally, a bit of success here for FURIA, but it is just as quickly put out as those missed incendiaries over towards Banana.
No overextension from Wonderful. Another incendiary where it feels like Navi have already used 10 of them. That was excellent. Straight up. And I mean, Alexi, big smile on his face. Amazing play to make this way easy. No chance in this post plan. I love it. Navi are getting better by the round.
And showing us depth as well, right? A retake called for. Last time they went for a retake over towards that Tech 9A push that FURIA were able to manage. There was nothing there. Bested by Fallen inside of the pit. This time, FURIA find nothing more, and beyond that, they come into this round damn near fully invested. Single rifle for Molodoy, Tech 9's across the board. This first half of FURIA's attack is quickly coming to an end.
Best round we've seen from FURIA was quick.
And they've not really gotten back into that tempo. I think that's a tempo that was stolen from them by the confidence of Navi coming down Banana.
All we say is we usher in the new Brazilian teams. The better ones are playing quickly. Long gone are the days of 2020, 2021, 2022, where all of Brazil slowed down their gameplay. This new FURIA proved that you can win playing aggressively a CS2 way.
Fire on one side of middle, but no eyes yet on Arch. Alexi, he's going to hear them stomping over towards the CT spawn. MONGOLZ locked into the corners, got util to try to burn, but he actually doesn't drop it. And so they're going to come into this with a huge pack of players. He instantly pulls the trigger, and Alexi flanked them through that spawn so that he could get one as well. Ends up doubling down onto Fallen, and nothing seemed to be going well except for Yakinder still lingered. That bomb gets dropped, and it gets set ablaze at 20 seconds.
That's a terrible spot for it to be.
Oh, they've got to try to press their luck. And remember, Yakinder only has 1 point of health. He's lucky to even have a frag. K-Serato's here to save it. And as he gets his hands onto the bomb, they'll cross back to the open. Eman cuts them down, and Navi no bounds.
They can't hit a shot. They can't win a round. Clock is not on their side. Everything's falling apart. Sid begging for a timeout.
Man. You know, there's a cool moment there where MONGOLZ doesn't drop any util, and that really keeps FURIA focused forward, but Alexi chases them.
Yeah, I think there was a moment there where MONGOLZ realized Alexi heard so many footsteps. Maybe they don't think that information had been corroborated.
Right.
Maybe if he sits there, and maybe he would have thrown that if he didn't switch too fast.
But also
either way, it works.
Had he thrown that, maybe they turn around and catch Alexi B. You know, we don't get to end up seeing Alexi's POV, but he gets 2 kills off that fast flank.
Good point. Could have blocked something where Alexi wants to make a play. So,
but I mean, you know, like, look at this tempo, this pace. Yeah. As they're getting in, he just barely caught this.
Said take the fight. I love that.
Whoa. And all of that, you know, communicated in the nitty-gritty while all this pressure's on of, you know, 4 players are running towards you through spawn.
It's a great observation, man. Heads up play.
FURIA feel like they tried to play one fast again.
Handed them the shovel to dig their own grave, essentially, is the analogy here.
Whoa. 7-3, comfortable so far for Navi.
Oh, is this why you didn't want to fight on Banana?
Well, at least this time, K-Serato gets his revenge, sends bullets back through, and MONGOLZ not able to live longer than his 1 frag. But it's just felt like a suffocating defense so far from Navi. And that's before somebody like Wonderful has been freed up to go for these kinds of mid-picks. Given a bit of vision on the 1 member of FURIA that sticks around. That's going to get him tucked back in behind smoke.
Sees no one setting up the jumping nades.
But again, disruptive utility. And again, Alexi's right here to handle the pressure. Eman's right by him. And so the trade brag's good. Beyond good. Navi, fantastic.
Keep an eye on the multi-kills. Imma gets 2, drops the bomb, takes the wind right out of this round. It would have been a bomb plant off that single frag. FURIA last week get that kill.
Kindar trying to be the hero as this T-side fizzles out. A 4th or 5th round for FURIA would be so good for their chances, but he'll find nothing. Bit's confidence comes down that short side like dragon's breath. FURIA just burned up every step of the way. You can't push a smoke, you can't find a flank. There's reactions here from NAVI every step of the way.
Not all lopsided scorelines are made equal, but this one numerically, it tells the story. The trades aren't coming through. Molodoi has hit 1 good shot so far in 2 maps. And NAVI are looking for another masterclass first half on back-to-back maps.
Now freed up in the dying round of FURIA's attack to go into the apartments. Bit takes a bit of a gander down the doorway, sees nothing, and instead it's this climb up through the apartments. Kindar at the tip of the spear, Yuri over behind him. And will the timing here catch NAVI off guard? Because Bit, well, actually, I was going to say had just left. Sticks around for a second. Puts Wonderful on the angle. Here comes that pop. He's going to drop down, try to slow it down. Will Wonderful be able to recover? Emad takes shots back through the smoke. This is a moment for Wonderful to really shine, or a chance for FURIA to catch that much-needed 4th.
They're going to let him take it.
Back turns to him. The first one's free. Alexi smoke spam. That's another kill for NAVI. And it looks like MONGOLZ is going to try to keep that pressure on. Bomb planted. 2 kills there. FURIA will find nothing more. This is a NAVI running towards semifinals. This is a NAVI that reminds you this core has won majors. It was a stunning result back on Mirage as NAVI showed us a world-class T-side, one that FURIA simply couldn't keep up with. And as we switch over to Inferno, it's a reminder to the Thunder Pit Grand Finals, where NAVI started 2-0 strong. But that runway there was extended, and the recovery from FURIA showed us their greatness.
He's very kind of stubborn, and we just need to punish him for this.
Very stubborn, he says, about FURIA's game plan. Into the pistol will go.
Love it.
A chance for NAVI to just stomp out FURIA in this finish because a double kill, instantaneous. And if Fallen's not able to hold that bomb site on his own, B is a foregone conclusion. Bit will collect the kill towards Boiler as NAVI remain with both options open. Yuri cowers in the back of this bomb site, hoping to be the hero. And as he hears that utility, they will track him down. It's one thing to win this pistol for the 10-3 lead. It's gets another to do it without a single player falling.
Oh my, they're about to leave him embarrassed at this rate. Looking just like Mirage, as if the map change never even really happened. Navi are grabbing 10. Fallen's even lucky to get anything here at the end of this round. And that best of 5 reverse sweep, it's the first we've seen since Dong did it as he first joined Spirit. Whoa. It's something that we never thought would happen again, and it happened to Navi. And it was even more embarrassing because they crushed FURIA on those first 2 maps and then got completely swept.
It is hard to find a reason FURIA can compete in the server tonight. We look across that board for Team Navi, there was just success in every individual's hands. They've been lapping their way through this. Forced by opportunity for FURIA's defense.
They're just not fighting back right now. Not fighting back. Fans chanting, send them home in the arena right now. Not something I ever thought I'd hear for FURIA.
Bullets whiz by you, Kindar. He drops his util, but we're still at 1:15. Plenty of time for Navi to reapply the squeeze.
This is Navi's arena, right? They're gonna do what FURIA did maybe in the first half and make it look good somehow. They don't mind if there's under 10 seconds on the clock.
Yuri tries to push down middle. Oh, nice headshot. It's a bit of effort there for Ime to get the recovery kill, so he ends up losing 80 health as well. Forced by victory right now by FURIA. Maybe we can start trying to tip the scales.
No greater plan at play right there. As a mercenary mission there for Yuri. 1 kill was maybe the best outcome they could ask for. But the instant refrag. Let's see if Fallen can scare them with a smoke. Minimal presence over here towards B. He'd love to have a full kit of utility. I'm not sure if he can chain them, but doesn't seem like he's picked any more up. Rotate's coming in now.
Kindar keeps pressure on, executes Emet from behind, 5-7s, doing great here for FURIA. And so Navi trying to head back the other direction again, 15 seconds. This round has fizzled out. FURIA have kept the pressure on both sides, and that's just great moves individually, right? Yuri going down, like you said, on his own. And so Navi having to fight from both sides of Banana, ultimately give FURIA a lifeline, but that's all this is. Nobody in this building or online should get ahead of themselves. FURIA have a lifeline, but nothing more.
It's yeah, it's a life jacket, but they've still got a whole lake to swim across. It's not going to be easy. The thing is that because we've just moved by the pistol, like Navi on numbers, so close to just winning, they could get lucky and win this game now. But FURIA winning a round like this, it could definitely matter. You just can't, they're just the team, they're the team at this event you can't write off until it's totally done. I can't stomach the idea we end this game and we didn't even get to say they didn't play like themselves.
Sure.
You know, if Navi beat them playing to their level, that's one thing.
Right now, they're nothing more than a stepping stone to semis.
They are a team, it feels like they're above all narratives in other ways. Like, it feels like if they 3-0 the last stage, well, it doesn't matter because it's FURIA, right? It doesn't matter that they don't get more practice or don't get tested. It's fine. They're the one team that it won't matter for.
Blade's been sharpening his tools all season long. And right now, they're afforded a bit of space out middle. I mean, this is dangerously close to an A bomb site, which ultimately for FURIA is still majority of their defense. With utility in hand, they could slow this down. 55 seconds, Tech9 starts to rattle out from the apartments. Here comes that double back. It's short side emphasized instead. Molodoy, gets popped by Makaze. Wonderful's able to get that Galil into the kill feed. Yuri, that's nice.
Two is crazy.
Frag is beautiful.
With an MP9, man, that's value.
Headshot onto the balcony's fantastic. We get Wonderful on the recovery of that bomb. 77 health in a 1v2 queued up, but whittled down by Fallen, who decides to take matters into his own hands, step out from that library, and add the 5th to the scoreboard.
Incredible work. Again, the MP9 there for Yuri. If not for that, say goodbye to the round. FURIA stay alive.
Show me that second headshot, please.
So nuts. It must have been 2 instantly as well.
I mean, Ime just gets deleted in what feels like the same millisecond as Yuri falls.
Yeah, the laser pointer on that thing. So 5-round game. Let's talk.
Really sent down into it now is NAVI.
I wasn't even ready for FURIA to even make a comeback. It just felt like Mirage again. We go to a third. I have no idea what happens at that.
Here we are, Launders. Buckle up.
Let's go. Emma's still having fun collecting chickens.
It's a chance to talk things over.
Oh.
Or maybe vent frustrations. Just curious, Budapest, do you believe in this comeback?
They want blood.
And
We
the
all
other
want a
side
good time.
answers because NAVI that close to the finish line. I think more than anything, everybody just wants a show. So FURIA given a chance to find the confidence to do that. Now this lineup over towards the bracket side of things, and well, it's one kill for Alexi, sure, but it's a very confident looking FURIA, no stranger to the pressure, and E-Man knows he's just got to give it up. He'll get gunned down, majority alive. FURIA's force buy in round 14 nets them a 3-round streak, and the thought of a comeback starts to creep into our minds.
And FURIA, hopefully, they've already moved into that idea. And let's see if they can undo all of the negative self-speak that has maybe started to set in. The greatest fear of all, that they not only lose this major, where their expectations must have been so high, but they go out in quarters again. That would absolutely be the scariest result. Let's see if they can overcome all of that, put on a show for this crowd, and make this a 3-map series at the very minimum.
Would be our first 2-0s across the entire quarterfinals.
Yeah. And not in the ways you would expect.
Blade wants in.
I thought CtrlS was going to handle that situation.
Yeah, right?
Loving what we're getting out of MONGOLZ.
Such a fire starter when it came to holding down Banana.
No fear.
No time for that. And still a lead where you shouldn't be afraid if you are NAVI, but we'll see. Confidence wavers in the face of this FURIA recovery. That's what we've got so far, the recovery. First step to the comeback. MONGOLZ again thrown towards Banana, this time unsuccessful in the face of Fallen's aggression.
Strong parent right there. Only 2 names in the kill feed, but they can smell a 3B setup. Problem is, they don't have a way to move on this.
You know, it was Devil Walk back on the desk who really emphasized that Banana was going to be a battleground, and it has been. And this time we see FURIA throw themselves into that battle and not allow NAVI to get these easy opening positions. You know, to evolve your B threat from that point is one thing, but FURIA sign up with the risk off of the tac pause, and you can see the damage done in return, right? Fallen's nearly dead.
Inferno is won and lost on this map. It's no secret. What I'm worried about is Quesarado's long sprays.
Okay.
He's taken a long time to get some of these kills. We saw a moment on Mirage.
Whoa,
okay.
How about that?
All right, now we're good.
Headshot and the mow down. Wonderful, not long for this world. T-Man, what are you up to?
That's 2 down, Fallen's low. Imma can get a bomb plant, but on 29 HP, you think this is a non-factor.
Replaces the smoke on CT Cross. We're gonna get this inevitable Banana flank. But like you said, on 29 health, you'd think no chance in hell. You'd think. Molodoy's op already up on the angle. The rumblings of the retake coming his way. Oh, it's a 3rd headshot. Imez on for it now. Lock the hell in. Fallen's gonna try to force his hand. That op giving the cover. No. Quad kill. Oh. And Fallen denies.
Oh. Oh, he doesn't know.
That is all the experience in the world coming together for a rifle headshot from Fallen.
1 bullet away from death.
Wow.
And a 1-on-5 for Imma in playoffs at a major.
Sub 40 HP.
That'll be one of the biggest what-ifs ever. If this series actually results in a comeback for FURIA, my goodness. They don't know about his HP, and I think that's for the best.
Molodoy's confidence starts to grow, and he'll sit on this angle. And they're not at him just yet over towards alt mid, but he's not the only one looking for some early contact. Yakindar locks into a corner that MONGOLZ dominated back on the CT side. Now MONGOLZ sitting on the bomb site, right? From peeking down middle to now having brackets taken over by NAVI. This is a pretty quick play. And he ends up taking damage. So
He's
no
off it,
real
man.
chance at even finding that kill. E-Man's gonna try to mow them down, but MONGOLZ's got the answer and he's got plenty of support right behind him. The AWP is right back at it. Tech9 comes in for just the one. And so the attack of NAVI cut short on the perimeter of that bomb site. When they had MONGOLZ on the edge of that wall getting whittled down with no chance to shoot back, NAVI had confidence, but that dries up quick.
I mean, why is that even happening? Why is that even happening? What's going on, MONGOLZ? Is he going through it right now? That 1v5 almost happened because MONGOLZ just missed a shot. We watched that from Imma's perspective. It looked like the winner's perspective. MONGOLZ was tasked at covering Fallen on a plan. His death should have resulted in Fallen's death. He was covering more HP, easy op shot, everything, didn't hit it.
And the more rounds they win, the more pressure gets applied out of the gate. FURIA no longer playing like they're at a damn near 10-round deficit, because they are merely 2 rounds away, and yet again with the 5 versus 4. And you add up all of the grenade damage that Wonderful and Alexi have already had to stomach. I think you see in that, player reaction, there's no timeout being called, and Alexi, there's almost a franticness to him.
Yeah.
And I tried to allude to that cool, level-headed NAVI that is coming into the server to try to, usurp all expectations.
Okay.
But now we've got FURIA in the server.
They're shedding the scar tissue somehow. They're giving themselves chances. They're going off the back of really good starts. Excellent utility falling into place, establishing banana control as you need to on CT side. The tests are getting easier. NAVI peel back at 45 seconds. FURIA get 1 round away from tying this game.
This is a FURIA that has been forced to build one another up as these rounds are getting collected, but does it also come together while NAVI start to break each other down? A little doubt in your teammates goes a long way for your opponents. This shot, as the save is on here, last 15 seconds. I mean, FURIA, they've built up a decent buffer. I'm curious how much they're willing to throw at a NAVI who cannot afford to die after time.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's the one player sent to his death. Yakindar out on an expedition. Time fizzles out. FURIA, a 1-round game.
1-round game.
This is 6 consecutive round wins of a CT side after losing pistol.
That's a quick response into the second half to make this game real. They took it 1 round at a time. They brought us this far now. It's just about landing the somersault. They've done the hard part. They're in motion.
Yes, sir. And of all those rounds they've won, only 1 was demanded of their retake.
I'm still seeing some moments where you're like, are you going to miss again? Are you going to give up another golden chance?
MONGOLZ will try his damnedest to avoid exactly that. But sometimes easier said than done. Right now, Yakindar's looking at it. And shots don't come back his way, but there is presence from NAVI on the other side. He goes right back and will cut down Wonderful. There is the push through the smoke, though.
Oh, an answer. MONGOLZ.
Weaponized for the answer. And that's going to get that MONGOLZ op rotation instantly moving over.
It's actually an interesting situation for NAVI. They want to move quickly out of this idea. They're actually calling out the rotation to be reclaiming of banana control after MONGOLZ dies a little earlier than expected. Now pressure on the 2 Brazilians over on the A side. Full force attack coming in.
Bit sitting here ready to just blindside K-Serrato. Yuri and K-Serrato, the teeth of FURIA, sit and wait. And they'll cut down 2 players immediately, 4v2 advantage. That's all they had to do. And now as they look for more, K-Serrato's got the headshot onto Bit. Even into another clutch attempt, but taken down to 30 health, and still he can't clear Pit.
Wow.
Yuri dunks it on him, and with 2 players alone inside of that bomb site, we have a tied game.
I just love, they play together, perfect chemistry. They cannot find K-Serrato. Bit's up there in halls. He's like, when is this guy gonna peak? I don't know if he ever saw him. Tried to never forget about it, but because Yuri had this line towards the site, they knew that from the perimeter of the bomb site onwards, as long as they had this trap wire, then K-Serrato could get involved. He doesn't have to go and search out information on safe. two longest standing members of FURIA still on this team, showing off their chemistry in that moment.
Again, freed up for these moments, but he hasn't really been able to get anything going from it.
They're buying him rounds, though.
Right.
You know, I'm calling out all these moments that are weird from MONGOLZ, absolutely, but he's got a team, and that's the story of MONGOLZ. It's not just been him. He's just one of the few elite operators that actually justifies his position and his gun every round that he gets it normally.
Which is why it feels so bad when we get one of these anomalies. The rest of his team has given him the time. So opportunities just keep on coming, even if the kills don't. We hit a minute. Navi laying down the few utilities that they still have. There's nothing actually behind this. You can see FURIA just trying to keep that pressure on. There's been a lot of damage done through smokes. Those frag grenades that sail down middle or banana have found their marks. You know, more often than not, Navi are committing to a bomb site softened up. And this time they're going to try something different. Heavy emphasis out through the balcony. And guess what? Exactly. Yuri's not within that. That's exactly where you'd anticipate to find him. Instead, he's layered up inside of the bomb site with K-Serrano. Wonderful's opening kill. And Bit's got one right there with it. MONGOLZ tests the waters on the side of that smoke as Makaze is behind them. And he will execute both. Not missing his moment. Bomb planted to the depth of the site as Fallen tiptoes his way to his fallen comrades.
And suddenly we're reminded how close Navi are to the finish line. Just an eco. They have improved a lot in the second half. A pistol and this force up. But they keep the lead. Doubling up on the site, no one in pit. Maybe not the safest position. 2 frags on the defense. And Fallen here to punish. Wait a second. He can run it.
7 seconds. Oh, he's on it. Wait. No, I think he may have this. Get back in the server right now. It's so close.
He's got it.
That is decades of experience. And a Navi that played one step in advance.
He found a needle in a haystack. A position to just guarantee some exits. Everyone running at him. And with a sliver of red, he pulls out this defuse.
By what amount of time?
No way.
Crushing. Crushing.
No way. Navi do not keep the lead. Oh. Ima almost getting a 1-on-5. That felt like the great tragedy they avoided. This one for 11. This one comes to fruition here for Fallen, and it's Navi who have to bear the brunt of it.
Jump up on top of it. How the hell do you recover from that one? FURIA probably feel like gods. With Counter-Strike coursing through their veins. This comeback is the kickoff of FURIA's playoffs.
That was divine intervention in favor of FURIA. The godfather of Brazilian CS to receive.
MONGOLZ finds the opening again. Navi are close to this bomb site. They'll try their hand once more. But the pressure is too immense, and FURIA on the brink of a 12th round. Eman's got the kill back. Bit got one. At the very least, there's the swing from Wonderful. And with so we go back to the 2v2.
Yeah, Fallen fast on the flank. He's got the clues. He knows he can get the lead up. MONGOLZ to join up with him. This could mean everything. Bit and Wonderful have done amazing work in these moments.
Smoke in front of Fallen. Wonderful keeps eyes on it. Instant execution. And so Navi come back from the brink of embarrassment with MONGOLZ stepping forward. It's Navi's 11th round as well.
We're looking for every round on this game. And a high likelihood of overtime at this rate.
You said it a round ago. We had almost forgotten how close NAVI were to semifinals because of the nature of this comeback. But they are yet again right on the brink of this.
And this is the most honest round win. Everything they have to work with, trades going down smoothly. This one feels sustainable. It's extra special to win this way for NAVI. They don't want to do it on freebies, ecos that go wrong on the setup for FURIA. They want to do it the hard way. That's always been the NAVI way.
But with that, does FURIA start to feel themselves a bit of a shell of themselves? No peek from MONGOLZ this time around over on brackets. Whoa, nades go over MONGOLZ, but one lands right on him, so not an easy job, but just as much damage for Yakindar, so this round stays damn near even.
The two firecrackers of the round going head-to-head in openings. Both down by half. Yakindar lost out to MONGOLZ on this previous round, an instant trade. Let's find out how this story.
Right on it again, but remember when he allowed them to get so close, there's been points.
They're pressing up against the glass right now. They want to threaten. They want to draw grenades out. NAVI know this is a pressured moment. People are going to be insecure. They're going to make mistakes.
40
They're going to get nervous.
For somebody's 12th round.
But right now, the pressure is subversive here for NAVI. There's not actually vision here for FURIA.
Still just sitting here, still just waiting. He has been sat here passive for 20 seconds now, and the targets, they emerge with a headshot. MONGOLZ's got him. Bit onto K-Serrano. Yuri's got to go above and beyond, and instead he burns down to Imez's finish. It is a 4 versus 2 secured here by NAVI, and Fallen's miracle may go down in vain.
MONGOLZ.
Missed shot.
On his favorite line. Ready to take a frag and fall back. Bullet between the eyes.
All while his counterpart in MONGOLZ.
And it's not
rookie for NAVI, first major playoffs, walks around that corner, and I swear to God, the bullet came around before he did. Bested inside of that A site.
Someone's not getting sleep tonight. NAVI are on for the 2-0.
And that is a tsunami of relief washing over NAVI.
And that round is the best yet. They get a sustainable victory in that last one, a full rifle. Despite nearly winning the eco, they win another on A. They do it now even better.
Whoa. And Yuri, who's been able to have heroic moments from inside of that pit, this time can't manage all the heat on his own.
FURIA were not playing with power in this round. They were rotating around their perimeter. They were responding with utility when they didn't see anyone. They were afraid of phantoms. They didn't have vision. They didn't have man advantage. All they had was MONGOLZ on his favorite angle.
Which for so many of their best moments this season has been enough. Not tonight.
Could have been a clip to save them. Fallen's given them a gift in this game.
Don't forget the clawback that has already occurred in this game.
Feels like FURIA are playing to win this match. They're just playing for a third map, and that might not even happen. Full buy, round 24, both teams.
8 rounds in a row for this CT side to even make this game competitive. Unlike some of the others who have fallen in their quarterfinals, FURIA have already fought back. But there is no way that they want to leave this event in this nature. 1 round to overtime. And you've got to stare your opponents in the eyes. You have to remain brave if you're Yakindar. MONGOLZ, who cracked that whip over on short side into MONGOLZ's head, could be the death of Yakindar if he's not careful.
I'm sorry, but his impact goes beyond the numbers in this series. The round where he skipped past him in an underpass to get those kills in connector on Mirage. They turned that into a map win. MONGOLZ here going head-to-head versus MONGOLZ, trying to take out Yakindar. He's ready to win.
He's got the utility to offer. Oh, but it goes beyond. NAVI are playing ahead of the timing. And even though it doesn't get damage, what that could tell you is that NAVI had a chance to catch him off guard. He'll dive back into the cover. This is a Yakindar who is momentarily working pretty much alone.
But look at the fog of war here for the T side. 40 seconds. Navi are working. Are FURIA responding?
Do they want to pop through this? There's another layer of support inbound in Caserado, but you can see his concern for the arch side.
Bit's here to catch a push. No one's coming down mid. No one's up in halls at all.
Could be the boost that stops them in their tracks. It could be Caserado to chew through them. But one crosses over to the pit, makes a lot of noise in the process. That's Caserado's one. Ballin collects his as well. And still there's that member over towards orange. Caserado's position.
Okay.
Fantastic. As FURIA survive this test and push this to the overtime rounds. Navi's falter.
They get another chance to do it. The third rotation over to B, that's enough. They call out Navi's idea. Navi have not proved themselves on this side of the map. A was working out very well. And I'm sure there was a part of FURIA that were scared to rotate because they know Navi had an open wound that they could abuse, that they could get over there and make him pay. But they did make the key rotation. I still don't like that it's a passive rotation.
Sure.
I don't like that we're not reclaiming top banana with kills, flash tactics to take back mid control. There's still not enough here. A map win will disprove that, I promise.
You know, Molodoy's inched ever closer to these opening moves. No, wait.
What in the world?
No, wait. He gets past this. Okay, hold your breath.
Oh, this is a round in the bag if he plays this right, but his support dies behind him.
The bomb gets picked up by Email on the ramp. Fallen's gonna cut off the bomb. Oh, he lets it go.
Yeah, because how can you take that when you know three guys are gonna come back at you? You don't know if there's more. Fallen.
What does he get from this? Line up on two. The rifle works wonders. And so right back into the position that he hid from them originally. Navi scrambling to recover, will at least get that kill in the 3v3 that comes with it.
This round's not over, but another gift from Fallen means this round's possible for FURIA. Even though Yakinder died, Navi probably thought they had this one in the bag. And this is where you want to see proactivity from FURIA. They're worried, but 3-on-1, will that be possible to stop? Yuri's in his spot.
Oh, it's the right answer previously, but Yuri again giving them that space, leans back. Player over top of the balcony hits the ground. Oh, he gets hurt. He thought he'd have a chance the first fight before Bit would kill him. He was wrong.
No way he can make this push, surely not.
He's right on the edge of it, and he knows better. So he will sit on the other side of this. And what are Caserado and Molodoy meant to do? Priming themselves for the retake. Utility over top, missed. Molotov, we can't afford this now. And that frag grenade would have also landed on top of Bit, and it would have just been damaged. The attempt is in vain. Navi strike first in OT.
Navi will not give up this lead. Fallen's play, I mean, it couldn't have been better. Two moments in this game that are inexplicable. You never see a spot like that getting played. He could have dropped the bomb right away. He tried to milk that for everything that was worth, because one back would not have been an even play. One back with the bomb down with that much time on the clock wasn't enough. He gave his team 2 frags. He even stayed alive a little longer. But where are the rest of the players on this map? He gets this, he falls back, no one's moving. All that happens is he dies in a trade and it goes back to a 3-on-3. It's too stale. It's too calcified from the CTs. It's too uninspired to win this game.
Oh, while Navi show us evolutions and individual abilities. It was a confident move back to that A-bomb site. And unfortunately for Yuri, he picked the wrong duel, right? You would have heard Bit fall off of the balcony. Oh, what could have been. But there's no time to dwell on the past. We're right back at it, and FURIA remain under pressure. Flashes getting them closer to Banana as Molodoy sits on an angle. And it's not the first one that he has sat on passively, hoping that enemies step forth into that scope and fall.
I want to see him make pick plays.
Sure.
I don't want to see him start passive. Here he's got some vision, but once he loses it, what's next?
You know what's wild, Launders, is we've seen him kind of get ever so brave, taking peeks down middle from time to time at the start of the rounds, but there's never anybody on the other side of that scope. Navi do a good job of dodging it at the start of the round, and we don't see him go for those in the middle or late rounds.
Their game plan has remained shrouded, absolutely. And Navi and map control have absolutely dominated before the attacks even come in. It's FURIA playing from behind. Look how much space they've given up. This is not a good-looking map, Connor.
Molodoy again, this is your chance. And so to strike down MONGOLZ is a bit of revenge. But what's it all worth? Because Ime, with 22 kills to his name, finds that 23rd.
There's
on
enough time
A.
to split B.
Yes, sir. And you see this scrambling Yakindar running back into the spawn. But if he lets his guard down, he could get blindsided as well. Stomps back over towards the B site.
Yakindar doesn't know what to do. He's pushing back in.
One will not be enough for Molodoy, so a second one is great. There's Yakindar on the edge of the smoke, and Molodoy's triple kills found. That off is rock solid this time. FURIA answer right back in OT.
Oh my goodness, from outside, from the perimeter of the map, finding a way back into that round. The thing I'm a fan of is Molodoy right there, at least delivering. Flashback off his angle from the car peak. Felt like it was going to be all too passive, but he punished MONGOLZ. He turns it into a multi-frag, and even though they were playing games with Yakindar, they did have him running back and forth from A to B in a moment where he wasn't exactly sure what would be next. He still comes through at the right time, delivers on his push. Emma makes it scary, but it's all survived. Nothing matters on this map now. Not how you lost rounds, when you lost rounds, as if you win the map. That's all that matters. And FURIA do just that. Let me tell you, the uncomfortable situations have not ended here. Molodoy, 4 frags.
Hell of a time. We were talking about how the individuals on his team were just going to give him more and more runway. But those opportunities for Molodoy's impact have come and gone. Not this time. Rock solid in the back of that bomb site. Double op evolution here for FURIA as well in the final round of their OT CT side. When you think that Molodoy was just here, got a 4K, and then Fallen starts the round by going for ambitious wallbangs, is that all meant to scare you?
Absolutely.
There's no way they know that this is Fallen instead, but he's gonna also have to pay the piper. Frag grenade binds him, half his health is gone, and this is the play that they were trying to set up. Does it work?
Well, let's see if they're suspicious about this. Flash comes in, shots missed. Molodoy tried to punish.
Now they'll know. But still,
okay.
Yuri at least able to capitalize on that one. We've got a 5v4 here for FURIA.
But I like there's no single point of failure. Even though that shot gets missed, there's another response, right? That's what's so good about FURIA on their best days. They can make bad situations worse. Here's a moment for your Yakindar. He's got to be careful with that AK. He's not getting spotted.
Oh, he's just locked in. Blindsides MONGOLZ. And also on top of that, sees no support. MONGOLZ operating on his own there. NAVI are suddenly going to feel like they have been found out. And what you have left is a Hail Mary attempt to take over this A bomb site. So again, banking on Yuri sitting inside of that pit. Molodoy, they know there's 2 ops. A retake, would it be disastrous? Yuri collects the kill to Alexi. Ime's been blind this entire time, but Alexi gets a kill from beyond the grave. And as Wonderful gets one back off the bomb plant's right there immediate.
It's Wonderful on center stage. Smoke goes down, looking for an early kill.
Gives himself room.
He's trying to bait out a push. The smoke is a little bit off, turns around.
Oh, it's right there. But he slipped in. And so Yakindar's gonna have this long wrap back around.
You think this is gonna be the ace in the hole, but Wonderful is going one step further.
Starts to come back though, worried about the walk up on the bomb site. Smoke's about to fade. Oh, and it's perfect from Yakindar.
He got there early. He walked the entire way, but he made sure to do that as quickly as possible. One idea, follow through.
Slips that net.
Yeah.
In a matter of milliseconds, gets up into the boiler.
So,
2 rounds in overtime for FURIA. They have a lead.
They have the lead. Between the 4K that we saw from Molodoy, and I want to say the X's on the map this time around. They get the kill in Halls. They get the kill at the top of, or down Banana with Yakindar's play. It's the first time that FURIA are actually being aggressive and successful in I can't remember how many rounds. Now we switch over.
Feels like they've been building up to this point. We've got to remember what NAVI were able to do back on their own CT side. It started with so much success and pressure from MONGOLZ getting down into Banana. You know, but do you have the confidence to get right back to it? It's been a long time since this was your task, but MONGOLZ seems content to step right back into the challenge, and he will be able to find himself locked into the cubby. And when he was last here, Molodoj's op was barely a threat. That first half was a damn near non-factor. Things have changed.
A reshuffling here from NAVI, and the last thing we want to see here from FURIA is them playing with the clock again. Oh, he took a shot. Okay, they'll win me off of that. Don't play with that clock, FURIA. They're sure-footed in this moment. 30 seconds. Late Molly could come down in front of him, but this exec is coming through no matter what.
Molotov meets them. Oh, KSerado's forced to go through it. It's a one and done from Wonderful. MONGOLZ's down to 15 bullets in that magazine, and there is no support nearby. And that had to have been his big moment. Instead, Fallen clears that bomb site, and a late arrival from the CT spawn could actually get cut down short if they don't anticipate Yakindar. And right now, it doesn't look like Alexi's ready. No, sir, blindside!
Okay. That's a response. And a map point secured, surely. Ima tucked back. The man who has almost made magic happen in this game. No chance to go for this. And lest we forget the mountain of a comeback that FURIA made to get to this point. Just for a chance to close this game in 3. I guess after seeing Kerrigan survive to get this far into playoffs, you're thinking, never give up hope.
Fallen's pregame said that the team that would win this matchup would be the one that can handle the pressure. And FURIA in this head-to-head, well, the pressure, it felt insurmountable. Lesser men would have been crushed by the start from NAVI. Oh, missed chance there for NAVI to strike one down in the apartments.
Quick peek in, they push that back. NAVI 2 rounds to give us another overtime, or FURIA, they bring us to a 3rd. They get revenge on Inferno.
Whoa,
and it
Wonderful.
starts.
Just a bit too slow to step into that angle.
You just love to see Molodoj launched into these spots.
He has come alive as this game has gone on. MONGOLZ missed chance as well to find his answer towards that B site. It's a lot of space given over to FURIA, and they still have a lot of time to work this. Also tethering off of the 2 players over towards the apartments. Remember, that is where A site, they end up getting that opening kill. But just flexing a threat towards Banana is gonna keep this defense divided. Smoke meets KSerado. Utility has not been enough to deter him in the 1 round prior, so he will step through that yet again. And MONGOLZ comes out of the CT side. Great flash, but not enough. KSerado cuts down 2. FURIA with a massive advantage in the face of NAVI's massive lead.
Fallen's smoke push was not for nothing.
Molodoj on the angle to end this. So many missed shots. But remember why we're here. Fallen and that defuse. The way that NAVI could have pushed off bomb site to close and to secure those semis. This map slipped through their fingertips. And in contrast, FURIA will stand tall.